of arrest. So that is the situation.
In your press release, you said that this is being orchestrated by the wife of Chief Bode George, who is the director of the general of the NDLEA. How do you know that?
Now, the thing is very simple and straightforward, my brother. The NDLEA is a party to a subsisting matter that is before the Federal High Court in Lagos. The court granted an order asking or directing all the parties to the suit to maintain status quo pending the determination of the suit. There are about 12 agencies that are involved in the suit: the NDLEA, the EFCC, the police, and name other security agencies. Now, our question is, why would the NDLEA come for him with hooded men and without a warrant of arrest? So, for us, we felt that there must be there is some political undertone, and when we looked through the whole thing, we felt that maybe the disagreement they had in the PDP before the past general election may have necessitated this kind of extrajudicial action, because there isn't any court order and there isn't any warrant of arrest. So why come for him in the dead of the night and with hooded men?
Now, Mr. Kashamu is a stakeholder, the way they say it in Nigeria, in the PDP. Who has he reached out to in this situation?
Well, I may not. I know that a lot of party well-meaning Nigerians have shown concern and have been making frantic efforts to find out exactly why this rush. Why if NDLEA has subjected itself to the jurisdiction of the court, and the court has heard the matter and actually fixed judgment for Wednesday, the 27th of May, 2015. We're talking about just about 3 or 4 days away. How come the NDLEA that has been in this country since 2003, that Prince Buruji Kashamu was released from UK, and has been in Nigeria since all this while, how come the NDLEA is now taking this action just at this time? So that a lot of party members that I may not be able to mention and leaders have shown concern, and they also they have expressed their solidarity, and many of them have also confirmed that this is an illegality. It does not have, there is no court order, and it does not have the approval of the relevant agencies of government.
Now, in your statement, you said that this is an effort by Bode George's wife to score cheap political points. What's the political point she could score with this?
Well, the political points, we have noticed of recent that a lot of appointees have been showing some sort of desperation to convince the incoming administration that they are up and doing. So this might not it might not be unconnected with that, because there is really no reason for this kind of brigading, this kind of siege on the senator-elect's house. So that was why we said maybe they are doing this to score some cheap political points, to warm their hearts warm themselves rather into the hearts of the incoming administration.
Now, there are news reports that Kashamu might kill himself. Is it true, and does he have weapons in the house?
Well, I think that it was just to show that he will not, as a law-abiding citizen, as a responsible man who knows that he has a lot of followers and a lot of people that dependent on him. I know that he will not take such an action. He just said it probably to show that he was ready to give anything in place of, to give anything to ward off any form of illegality.
Okay, I think we lost connection with Austin Onyeko, who is the media aide to Chief Kashamu. We will try to get him back, and we want to find out if things like if there are weapons in the house, just in case it gets to that point. And also, we want to find out from him what's next. If the law enforcement agents stay there for long, what will the chief do? And other questions. When we get him back, we'll talk about that. In the meantime, just for your information, we are going to speak to a political editor, the general editor of Premium Times will be coming on our show in another hour to discuss some of these issues. And we are going to give you the chance along the way during our Skype calls and the talkback segment for you to weigh in. Give us what you think about this situation. Nigeria is going through a transition, and the political situation now is very interesting, and I hope you are watching. Okay, I understand that we have him back. Austin.
Yes.
Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so I was asking you, you said that he's not really thinking about killing himself, but are you sure that there are weapons in the house?
Weapons in the house to do what?
To kill himself. Are there weapons there that he might use?
I've just told you that he was just a statement to show what level or he can't go to ward off any legality, but certainly that is not that's not
okay. All right. So what happens next now if they continue to stay there for another, let's say, 12 hours, 24 hours?
We are hoping that that's why we said in the statement that we hope that all well-meaning Nigerians and even the international community will prevail on these people to toe the path of legality, the path of the rule of law, follow due process. This man is not running to anywhere. He has said it time and again. And he said it, he's not in hiding. If he was running, they won't meet him at home. He's not in hiding. Yesterday he was at work. And he went home like every other person. So we do hope that reason will prevail, and they will allow. If they want to take him to court, they should. I mean, that's on Monday. We are ready to go to court and let the court hear this matter and determine it once and for all. In any case, let me quickly chip in this. On the 11th of May. 2015, the Attorney General was quoted in the newspapers as saying that the federal, as of now, there is no extradition request on Kashamu's case before the federal government, and that even when such request is received, it is not the federal government that will take an action on it. He said such a request is usually forwarded to the courts for a decision to be taken.
So who is going to receive that request? Is it the drug enforcement?
The Attorney General, of course, the Office of the Attorney General should receive that request. And until it is forwarded to a court of competent jurisdiction to take a decision on it, there is no way anybody can go and pick up effect any arrest. So
if a court rules that Kashamu should be extradited, is he willing to come to the United States?
Well, very well. He's ready. I mean, he's willing to come to the U.S. or wherever they want the trial to go. He has said that severally. Even in the last interview he granted SaharaTV, he said it.
Okay.
Yes.
So do we know how many people are in the house where he is now? And does he have enough things to sustain him there for a long time? Like food?
Well, I am hoping that... how many people are in the house, as in, you mean his immediate family member?
Yeah, immediate family, yeah.
Yes, his children are there. The wife is also there.
Okay. Are you planning to go there to visit him? Would they allow you to go in there?
They did not. As a matter of fact, I just came from the place to my office. Now they did not allow me in. They even threatened. In fact, they actually seized my phone and later searched through it and later returned it, and virtually marched me away from the vicinity.
What else were you able to get from them? Did they tell you anything new? Nothing new. All we said was that, yes, if you want to arrest this man, he is willing and ready. Show us your warrant of arrest. Once you show the warrant of arrest
and we are sure that you are a DLA agency, will follow you. But not some hooded men saying I mean, storming the place in the dead of the night and about 4:30 a.m. and then saying they want to arrest him without any warrants and without proper identification.
Now, Bode George is in the PDP and Kashamo is in the PDP. Is this part of the extension of what is going on within the PDP, where there are crises within the party? Do you think? Well,
I do not think it's really an extension in that sense. But maybe some people have some personal grudges or scores to settle. This is not. You can't. This is more of a personal thing than the party thing.
Okay. So when is the last time you spoke to Kashamo?
I spoke with him about let me tell you this. I was on the phone with him till about 3:30 a.m. this morning. Then I slept about 6:30. I got a call that the NDLA people, they were there. Yeah, I spoke with him. Then about between that 6:30 and about 8:30 a.m. I spoke with him for about 3 to 4 times.
So how was his spirit? Was he up? How was his spirit? Upbeat?
He actually said I should invite the press, the whole world, to come and know what is happening here. That they have come to illegally to abduct him. So if any press whatever, we actually called them, and that they should come and see what is happening. This to come and cover and report this illegality to the whole world. So we were the ones. He spoke. I mean, he actually spoke on a local television station here on channels. You know, telling them about. He is in high spirit. All he is asking for is for the due process of the law to be followed. He does not. He's not entertaining any fear at all.
Will he talk to us if we give him the chance?
Sure, I'm sure. I do not know if his phones are still on now, because I've not spoken with him recently. But I am sure that your people should have his number. They interviewed him about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So if they call him, I'm sure he will be more than willing to speak with you.
All right. Austin, thank you so much. We will keep in touch with you. If anything develops, we will get more information from you, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That's Austin Onyako, who is the media aide to the senator from Ogun State, Senator Kashamo. We will be right back with more discussions on this topic and many others, so stay tuned.
We are going to play a song called Maororo, and Nora Balaban is going to join me.
This is Adam Clayton Powell IV, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Hi, I'm Amini Kajunju, President and CEO of the Africa America Institute. You are watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
What's up, y'all? I'm TJ Allen, and I played the role as Trayvon Martin. We at the National Black Theater. What's up? Shouts out to Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Yo, what's up? My name is Bright AK Basketball. You're watching Sahara TV. Keep it locked down. Everything is Africa right here.
Shout out Sahara TV. Yo, shout out boy in law. Respect. So hallelujah now. I'm on Najale Mill. Joe.
Hello, this is Dikeme Mutombo. You're watching Sahara TV, Everything in Africa.
Hey, my name is Benga Denga, the first they call me the GCON, Grand Comedian of Nigeria. All you people watching out there, keep watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Jeffrey Wright, coming to you from New York City. Just
Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rodolfo Okonkwo. In 6 days' time, the Nigerian government will change hands from the PDP to the APC. The political atmosphere in Nigeria is heating up. We are happy to have joining us now to help us analyze the situation, the general editor of Premium Times, Mr. Festus Owete. Mr. Owete, welcome to Sahara TV.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So the big news this morning was the drama surrounding Senator-elect Buruji Kashamo. Yeah. There's news report that his house is surrounded by agents of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency. What do you know about the situation?
Well, if you may recall, former President Olusegun Obasanjo was shouting about this matter. He was talking about this issue about a year or 2 years ago, and that was one of the reasons he was dissatisfied with what was going on in the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. He was angry that a man wanted for drug-related charges or offenses in the U.S., has suddenly become the leader of the ruling party, or a leader of the ruling party. And so he was angry with this. And surprisingly, the party went on to nominate him. Of course, he did primaries, but I just want to believe that he had the support of the party. He was nominated to carry the flag of the senatorial, that is Ogun East Senatorial District, the party's ticket. He won that ticket. And he won the main election. And everybody is saying, why should somebody who is wanted for drug offenses in the U.S. be elected a senator? Now, brother, you can imagine such a situation where somebody, a criminal, although no court has convicted him, but you can imagine a situation where somebody that is wanted for such a serious offense is coming to make law for Nigeria. No, it shows that we are not getting it right. It shows that there is something wrong somewhere. And that is why some people are happy that the impunity of the party that is going, that is the PDP. People are happy that the party is going because impunity was just becoming something else. How can you give your ticket to somebody who was wanted, and the former president, a senior member, let me put it this way, a former senior member of your party, because he saw his membership card last February, a senior member of your party was shouting that this cannot be our leader, but you gave your ticket to him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say, let's look at what's happening today now. So we spoke to the head of Kashamo, and he's saying that this is a move by Bode George's wife, that this is a personal thing, that this is not something being done by the government. Who is behind this move, and why now?
Well, I was surprised to read that on our site, that Bode George and his wife are behind this. Of course, I really don't know. I can't say anything, to confirm or dispute that. But I think what is happening shows that we want to get it right. I know the coming government, APC, does not have a hand in it because they have no power to do so for now. You know. But if he's picking on Bobby George and his wife, well, that is for him. But I think it shows that I really don't know who is behind, but that is what he said.
But could it be that because of the problems within the PDP, that is what led to this move by maybe a section of the party? Or do you think it's the government? Do you think that Jonathan decided at this point that let's move on him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Jonathan and even this administration, I don't think Jonathan is behind that. I really don't think so. That is my personal opinion. Because I've not had, this thing just happened this morning. We have not been able to get the background information. I think the hidden information behind this. But I don't think, to me, I don't think Jonathan will do this at this point in time. Although the other day there was somebody EFCC went after, and some people were suggesting that it was the president, and that why now? But I don't think the president has the time to do that now. I don't think he wants to get at anybody for now. So when the man said it was Bodiger and his wife, I was saying, well, it might be internal crisis within the Southwest PDP. I don't know if they had issues before now. Because I was really surprised to read things, to read the story that Bodiger and his wife are behind this. They are all PDP chiefs in the Southwest. Perhaps they had issues, and that was why they had to, maybe Bodiger had to use his wife to go after him. But I really cannot confirm, But I don't, like I said earlier, I really do not think Jonathan will be doing it. If Jonathan has to do that, then there are so many people he has to go after, before he hands over, just in 1 week's time, So, because there are many of them, I'm not talking about drug offenses now, but we know there are so many of them. Even some of them who are going to the Senate now, who are going to the National Assembly now, they have cases before the courts.
Yeah.
And so, does it mean that Jonathan will also go after these guys? So, I do not believe. It might be true, it might not, but I do not believe. I'm talking about my personal opinion now.
Yes.
Because I don't have any information as regards that. I'm talking about my personal. Yes, if I had information, I would say it. But I do not think Jonathan will be doing that. For what?
Yeah. Now, what about the political elite? Were they waiting for someone like Kashamu to come to Abuja and be a senator? Were they anticipating that? Or did they have any opinion about that?
I really don't know, because I have not met anybody talk about Buruji coming to the Senate, and I have not met. Well, I think the closest the only thing I've heard people say, and those are the people who respond to our stories, people who comment our stories. People are just saying, why is it that a man like this is coming to make laws for Nigeria? That means if he's going to make laws for Nigeria, he will also make a drug, pushing of a drug trafficking legal. Some of these things. And some of these guys can be funny when they comment on this story. But I've not really, I've not started any whether senator elect, House of Rep member elect, or any top politician, even APC. I'm sufficiently close to the APC national chairman, but I have not. I've never had him discuss the issue of Buruji Kashamu. So I have not had anybody discuss that or that. The only thing I can say is that some of these guys who comment on our stories, they have been surprised that such a person could win an election. Even in Southwest state that is Southwest, they say Southwest is ahead politically when it comes to Yeah, I really don't know how to put it now, but I think when it comes to intellectual and other things, Southwest is ahead of other geopolitical zones.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to other stories. Activities for the inauguration already started in Abuja, and just yesterday, President-elect Buhari left Nigeria for London. Media reports from his office, they said that he went on a private visit. But today we are seeing that he met with the Prime Minister of Britain. Were you satisfied with the way that was handled?
Yeah, because we just woke up yesterday morning, to read the news. I mean, that the president-elect had traveled. I traveled yesterday morning. And I was wondering why he had to travel just a week before his inauguration. I was wondering, and I discussed that with my colleagues. Even at our editorial meeting yesterday, I think the issue came up. We were wondering why he had to travel. Because until the statement was issued, or even after that statement was issued, some people had the impression that he had even sneaked out to London for a medical checkup. People were already discussing it, but it was not what we could confirm as at yesterday, because I did call one of these guys in the media and the publicity office of the APC there, campaign office, and I was trying to find out why he traveled. Why would he travel at this point in time? Were people not reading into this trip that he has just made? And the guy was saying he really didn't know at that point. That is why I'm using he didn't. He really didn't know why he traveled, but because he had to issue a statement, which he was directed to issue, but that he will get back to me to give me maybe the information, the reason behind the trip. But we have seen now that he has met with some senior British citizens and all that. I don't know if the way it was handled was too good, but I also want to believe that these guys, some of these guys that work in that office are not impressed with the way it was handled. Ordinarily, the president-elect is, should I call him a public
official?
Official, and so if a president-elect is going to travel out, Nigerians should know, not by sneaking out. I recall that when I was in the Punch newspapers, I recall when Obasanjo was president-elect. He was going to visit some countries, and a statement was issued that he was going to travel to several countries, before his inauguration. But that was long before his inauguration, not 1 week or 2 weeks, long before his inauguration. I think I can recall that vividly. So I'm not impressed. Personally, I'm not impressed with the way it was handled, because it gave room to speculations. These are the type of things that will give room, to people like Fayoshe, this world, what is his name, Faneka, of this world, to say whatever they want to say about the president. I told you, he has picked out the go for medical, although they didn't say that this time around. But I'm saying that this is the type of thing that, that could lead to speculations, that the man is not still well, he has gone for medical operation, medical checkup, and all that. So me personally, I was not impressed, with the way it was handled. I think we should know. The president, permitted to use the word public property. The president-elect has become a public property. He receives visitors in the defense house, and that is owned by the government. By the government, it's secured by the security agents and all that. So if he's going to travel, we should know. That is my point. It could be a day, it could be 2 days before he travels. But Nigeria should have the privilege of knowing that their president is traveling.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to another issue, which is the transition committee of Buhari and that of Jonathan. There continues to be stories that they are not cooperating, that they are not working hand in hand. What is going on with those committees?
Well, Lai Mohammed, the spokesperson of
APC.
APC. About 2 weeks ago, he came out with this press release that those guys were not the outgoing president's team. They are not cooperating. They were not cooperating with the teams set up by the president-elect. But surprisingly, Amejada, that is the head of the one that is heading the Buhari transition team. Now he came out and told the world that Lai Mohammed was not telling the truth. But surprisingly again, just 2 days ago, Buhari himself confirmed that really the Jonathan team was not cooperating with the APC. So we became surprised. We were really shocked by this revelation because of what we had read earlier. There is so much confusion. I really don't know why the Jonathan team will be doing that. Because I expect that team, I expect the government, the outgoing government, to cooperate. This will have only 1 week to go. And there is nothing they can do to reverse this election. The result of the election. There is nothing they can do about it. Now, every Nigerian, we voted for, let me say Nigerians voted for a change. And so there is nothing they can do to reverse it. What I'm saying that I was surprised to learn that the outgoing government was not cooperating with the committee set up by Buhari. It came to us as a shock because ordinarily we personally had expected the government to cooperate with the team set up by Buhari so that we can have a smooth transition. But whatever be the case, I still believe that we are going to have that smooth transition, despite the disagreement, misgivings, and all that, and confusion. All is going to be well.
Okay.
We are just waiting for a Friday to come and so we have a new government to face.
Now let me ask you. There are a lot of people who are coming to the Senate and the House for the first time, and one of them is Senator-elect Ben Bruce. He recently made a splash on Twitter with a speech and some tweets about his opinion about Nigerian governance. Some of those opinions brought him fame and some people booed him. And a lot of Nigerians are asking, not just who is Ben Bruce, but is he for real? And I want to ask you the same question. Who is he and is he for real?
Well, it's on you. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you are hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay, what I told you.
Yes.
I am a Christian, and I believe that no matter how bad somebody is, there comes a time when you realize that he's doing bad, and you have to change, repent. That is where I see them. In the Bible, we have some bad characters who were later used by God, to promote His kingdom. So that is the way I read this Ben Bruce matter. It's possible he has repented because if we recall when he was in NTA and the other places, and recently, NTA, he was DG. And later chairman, I think. The NTA didn't show didn't have those traits of a clean organization then. I'm not saying that Bruce himself was fraudulent. But all I'm trying to say is that, I think the Bruce are saying a better reason that made him to think the way he's now thinking. And I believe, my brother, we need such people. Even though it is not real, but at least with what he has said, some of us, even in the media, will be on his trail. We'll be monitoring him, his activities. Because to be truthful to you, I was in that environment, the National Assembly environment, for close to 10 years. Let me put it that way. Close to 10 years. I reported the National Assembly for the Punch and for Daily Independent, and later for next newspapers. And I saw a lot of rot in that place. And when you go into that place, perhaps you go into that place, really, and that is why it's really. When you go into that place, even if you are going into that place as a clean person, there is that likelihood, the likelihood that you will be tainted. You will follow the crowd.
You will stand, yeah.
You follow that. There's that likelihood. But why I'm happy with what the Bruce is doing is that by the time he goes in there, the 4 years he's going to stay there, if God keeps our lives, we are going to monitor him to see what we do. Because the underground deals that go on, underhand deals, underhand deals that go on in the National Assembly. And so we just monitor him. But why I'm happy is that he has come out to say this is his position. And so perhaps some of his colleagues, by the time they are inaugurated, some of his colleagues will follow suit, possibly, and we have a better Nigeria. So that, yes, with this public posturing of Buhari, when I say public posturing, understand me, because so that I'm not saying that he has some bad things he has done, but public posturing that he is going to fight corruption, then we know that the National Assembly will help him to fight this corruption. And when the National Assembly does that, then we are going to have a clean country. My brother, if we can reduce corruption by half in this nation, I'm telling you that the citizens will enjoy this nation. That is my belief.
Now, let me ask you, apart from Ben Bruce, is there any other person that we should be watching who is coming into the National Assembly? Is there any new person, new face that might shake up the place?
Let me not say I know every one of them. Let me not say I know everyone, but the few I know, I'm not sure any of them is coming clean. I mean, coming with, should I say, clean hands. Some of these guys have been in different positions before. Even those angling to be Senate president or, speaker, you cannot really vouch for them. I don't want to mention names, but even the two former governors, that are angling to be Senate president, they have cases.
Yes.
And so some of those things, if you are coming with a faint record, I don't know how your leadership will be able to, to pursue anti-corruption policies. I really don't know. But like I said earlier, I'm a Christian, and I believe that somebody can repent. We are looking at currently, and I believe. Okay, let me not disclose it. But what I'm trying to say is that we have a number of them who are coming to the House of Reps now and the Senate that have a criminal, not criminal cases relating to fraud. Yes, and other issues. There are many of them. Many.
Okay. We will be monitoring and we'll be talking about this. But one last question, because we are really out of time. Your online paper reported that the National Assembly, they spent 600 billion naira in the last 6 years to pass only 106 bills. I want to know, when you wrote that report, what was the reaction of the National Assembly members who were there, and any reaction from Nigerians? Were Nigerians outraged by that report, by that fact?
Nigerians are outraged, going by their comments. But the National Assembly has not responded officially to us, to that story. They have not responded officially to us too. And we have written several stories like that. The scandals we were not able to resolve. About 10 of them. Now they are going in a week or 2 weeks time. And we have written, but to be fair, to be truthful, they have not responded to us officially. Not even the spokespersons of the Senate or the House of Reps have reached out to us to complain. Not even the public relations of the National Assembly, that is the management of National Assembly, has responded. Not even the spokesperson of the National Assembly Studies Commission has responded. So there is no official response to those stories we have written, particularly including this one you have just talked about. No official response. The only thing I think when we're doing the stories, I think we try to get across to them today. I think one of them, a chairman or so, that is the chairman of the Rules and Procedure Committee of the Senate. I think he did say something, but I can't remember vividly what he said.
Now, before I let you go, I want to ask you this question. You know the National Assembly very well. Do you think that David Mark will stay in the Senate when he's no longer the Senate president?
We have a precedent, and I really don't know how David Mark's mind works now. Now that, in 2000, in the year 2000, you recall that Chibo Kadibo was removed as Senate president, and also his deputy, Harun Abubakar, was also removed, and some of the principal officers of the Senate were removed. But they were coming to the National Assembly. Kadibo had his numbers, he was going to his seat, his seat in the chamber. He was going to his seat. And what Anion tried to do that time was to appoint him the chairman of a special committee, very special committee that was going around distributing relief materials to, I think they went to they went to Kaduna, the Secretariat crisis in Kaduna. So what I'm trying to say is that David Mark was in the Senate when that happened. And I just want to believe that he will also sit down and there is something about Christians and because he's a good Catholic, and that is humility. Humble yourself. Because one of the things I had is doing, I think he's not been confirmed, because I know that his spokesperson, media spokesperson, talked about that thing the other day. I understand he's also pushing for one of these guys. He's supporting one of these guys in APC to become the Senate president. And if he does that, and the person eventually emerges as the Senate president, we can work together. So I don't think there is no shame in this. You can sit down and do your work. 8 years, you are the Senate president. And the only thing is that the paraphernalia of office, will not be there for you. But you still have your aid. He has money to employ, personal aid that will do the work for him. So I see him, he's a humble guy. Since he left the military, he's a humble guy, and that humility has shown in a number of occasions. Okay. So I just believe he will be there. He will sit among his colleagues, to contribute his quota to the development of this nation.
Okay. All right. We have to stop here. Festus Owete, thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Okay. That was Festus Owete, the general editor of Premium Times, talking about the National Assembly, the situation with Kashamo, and other stories, political stories in Nigeria. When we come back, we are still going to talk to some actors in the Nigerian political scene, including Olisa Metu, who is the publicity secretary of the PDP. So stay tuned.
Officer, is there a team leader we can talk to? What? Who's your team leader, sir? Huh?
I'm standing there.
Okay. How's it going? How are you, sir?
How are you, sir?
I heard you are the team leader.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Sahara Reporters. Yes. Is there a way we can go inside and talk to find out what's happening?
No, that won't be possible now because the operation is still ongoing.
Okay.
So you just need to bear with us. It's a very sensitive operation.
We understand. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we've spoken to your guys, and they said we could come around, but we have to talk to the team leader on the ground. We spoke to the guy too. They said he's threatening to commit suicide. Are you guys aware of that?
It's only the big boss that we can talk about that.
And he's not here.
No, it's not. But whatever the details are, we will definitely get to know.
Do you have an idea of the strength of the team that is carrying out this operation today?
It's only the commander that.
And is it true that it's an American operation or Nigerian operation? You can't tell me.
It's only the commander that.
It's crazy. I mean, the whole world is interested in this. But we don't have information. Even the NDLA is not issuing statements.
Because the big boss is not around there. But I bet you all the details you need to get to know definitely got my question. Be rest assured of that.
Okay.
Nothing is the dead. Which TV?
Yeah?
Which TV station?
Sahara Reporters.
Okay, Sahara. Thank you so much.
No problem, no problem, no problem.
Say it to the happen now.
Hey, beautiful Sahara TV. Yo, man, my name is DTM. Now you're watching Sahara TV. Big up.
My name is Dak Joby. You are watching Sahara TV, everything African.
And Sahara TV came here to give me an opportunity to say hello to all my fans and to say that I love you. But on behalf of Rent is Too Damn High Party, and I thank Sahara Reporter.TV for giving me the opportunity to be myself. Once again, we love you. I love you forever. Rent is too damn high.
This your boy Smokey Suarez. I'm at the Gramercy Theater. We on Sahara TV. Make sure y'all keep supporting it. Sahara TV, the #1 station in the nation. Holla at your boy Smokey Suarez. Peace.
Hi, my name is Ishmael Bia. I'm from Sierra Leone and an author, and you're watching Sahara TV, everything Africa. Peace.
We are Mother Africa. You're watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
My name is Stanley.
My name is Aluchi.
You're watching Sahara TV.
Everything Africa.
Everything Africa.
Sahara TV, you're welcome back. Often when we hear stories about the police, or especially the Nigerian police, it's sometimes not complimentary. However, about a week ago or so, there was a story in which 2 Nigerian policemen were involved in the daring arrest of some armed robbers who actually were wielding an AK-47 gun, among other weapons. Now, how are our police force reacting to this story? How are the top echelon of the service responding to the bravery of the men on the ground? Do the men on the ground deserve more? Let's cross over to Nigeria, to Lagos, and speak with Police PR Kenneth Nwosu, DSP. You're welcome to Sahara TV, DSP Kenneth Nwosu.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kwechi, for having me. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir. So this piece of news, I believe, would bring lots of smiles on your face. First of all, have you heard about this at all?
The exploit of the men?
Yes, sir. Where they arrested two armed robbers on a motorbike.
Yes, they are our personnel here. We know about that exploit. Actually happened on Friday, but last week. That should be Friday, the 15th. Around the area called Relay. Relay is on the expressway to Badagry. These policemen were on routine motorized patrol. Of course, you know, the new directive of the Inspector General of Police is that roadblocks are banned, and they've been banned, and the Lagos State Police Commander, the Commissioner, has made it a point of duty to ensure that all personnel obey and abide by the directives of the Inspector General of Police. So these are men who were on routine motorized patrol when they intercepted these people on motorcycle, and they suspected them and flagged them down. One of the men on the motorcycle attempted to pull something from the bag he was carrying, but our men were smart enough to close in on him and actually stopped him from pulling what he wanted to pull. One of the men on the bike was arrested, and upon search of the bag they were carrying, an AK-47 rifle, 3 magazines, and about 20 live ammunition, 5.56 caliber, were all found in the bag. One of them was arrested, and as we speak now, investigations are ongoing. Confessions of one of the people who was arrested actually indicated that they were on their way to an operation in an undisclosed location. They also further claim that they live around the Yonishashi area. These are facts before us now, and the investigations are ongoing.
That is a story that brings a smile to all our faces, because we all cherish our freedom, and we cherish the work that the police does to protect all of us. How did you feel personally after you heard this piece of news? How did you feel?
Well, there has to be that personal sense of pride, you know. The command, the CP in particular, everybody is happy. Of course, this is not a one-off. It's in line with the almost the culture here in Lagos State Police Command. You know, some few months back also, another lady, another woman police sergeant also outsmarted a group of armed robbers and actually was able to recover a pistol, a locally made pistol. She was commended by the CP. She was also commended by the immediate past Inspector General of Police, and even the Lagos State Police, even the Lagos State government also gave her a commendation. So you can as well say that it has become our culture here because of the proactive way we do our work there, because of the leadership the Commissioner of Police here, CPC Kadranti, has been providing to ensure that the command remains safe.
Now, the police work is actually very dangerous. Telling from what has happened, those two officers could easily have been shot by these two armed robbers. Do you think your men are adequately equipped to properly guarantee the security of Nigerians?
Yeah, that we have been doing for many years. Of course, you know, it's one of our constitutional mandates. Majorly, one of the major constitutional mandates we have is to protect lives and properties, to maintain law and order. And over the years, ever since the Nigerian police was created, to the best of our ability, we've been doing that.
Is there any department where you think the incoming government, for instance, should concentrate on to make the work of the police better in terms of, let's say, equipment, in terms of remuneration, in terms of housing, welfare, etc.?
The appropriate police authorities will engage them on that. It's beyond my purview here.
Okay, that's fair enough. Now, there are also a few instances, maybe not a few, but there are also instances where some police officers do the contrary of what we are talking about today, where they more or less embarrass the police in Nigeria. I can quite remember an instance where a cop was seen punching repeatedly at someone who was selling fish and stuff like that. How do you plan to make this a thing of the past, being as the Nigerian police service or the police forces actually now seems to have a new face?
Well, you know, I am only the image maker of a command in a federation of 36 states and the FCT. So whatever thing I do, I confine myself to Lagos State Police Command. So if your question is for Lagos State Police Command, of course, I'll tell you that in Lagos State Police Command, we have operational procedures, and these are in tandem with what we have at the national level. And like you said, we keep on improving on our conduct. We keep on engaging our communities in robust ways, in partnership, in synergy, because we believe we cannot adequately police any environment without the buy-in of the communities we police. That we have been trying to do in Lagos here, and to the best of our ability we have done that. But if for any one or two reasons any of our personnel go against our approved code of conduct, of course there are adequate disciplinary measures to activate to punish such erring officers.
And again, it's interesting and good that you just mentioned the issue of policing yourself, as in the police policing itself, and also the fact that the community that you're policing play an integral part in the work that you do. How do you want to involve the community in fighting things like armed robbery?
Yeah, we engage our communities, like I said, in robust manners. We exchange information, we share information, and in most cases, we also have this thing we call PCRC, that's the Police Community Relations Committee, which is like a platform that brings everybody together so that we can, first, there is this need for us to have the confidence of the people we police, the neighborhoods, the communities we protect, and the buy-in. This PCRC has offered a platform for us to interact, interface, and break down what my CP usually calls the Berlin Wall that hitherto existed between the community and the police. Because when you break this Berlin Wall, you now find that they'll be willing to come up and give us information. And on our own part, the CP has assured everybody in Lagos that any information given to us will be treated with utmost confidentiality. Those are the areas we can build confidence. When you build this confidence, then you're willing, like I said earlier, to come forward and give you credible information, actionable intelligence, with which we use to make sure that our communities remain safe for businesses and for leisure to thrive.
Now, there's a new Inspector General of Police. So far, he has given indications that he intends to change the face of the Nigerian police force. How do you see his initial moves after taking office?
Again, like I told you, I am PPRO in Lagos State. At the force headquarters level, there's my boss, the Force Public Relations Officer. I think he's in a better position to answer that question.
Fair enough. But finally, let's go back to the two soldiers who are making us all proud today. Do you have any...
Two policemen.
Two policemen, yes. So do you have any form of incentive to give them, to encourage them and also others who will put themselves in the line of fire for the citizens? It could be promotions, it could be whatever it is.
Like I said earlier, there's a question he asked, and I told you that any of our officers who is found on the wrong side of our ethics will be adequately sanctioned. So that presupposes that if any of them behaves in any way extraordinary, there are also commensurate motivations. But like I said, the appropriate police authorities, of course, will look into all those things. Of course, acting on the recommendation of the CP here, and action will be taken.
We congratulate you and your man, DSP Kenneth Nwosu, and we hope that this becomes the norm rather than a one-off thing. Thank you so much for making time with us, sir.
Thank you, and I'll directly pass this message of congratulations to my CP. He actually is the one who is deserving of it as a leader here, and the men also who actually pulled off this feat will also be commended. Thank you very much for having me.
Please do pass that on, sir. Thank you so much. Sahara TV, there's more coming. Don't go away.
Yes, indeed, it's Isaac. How? That's how we do it. Red Star, representing. I watch Sahara TV, don't go anywhere. Africa. Oh shit? Let's go.
I am like you more and I like you when I invite you to my party. Because I like you and energize you and advertise you to my party. I'm a champagne papa and I wanna know you. Yo, what up? This is your boy YQ, and you're watching Sahara TV. It's all about Africa. It's all about the continent, and it's all about one people. And this is Africa.
What up, my people? What's going on? It's your favorite boy, Whiskey, Revenue, and Music. Guess what? You're watching Sahara TV Africa. Keep watching because we just say so. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? It's chilling with my crew, Emanara. You're watching Sahara TV. Everything black, Africa, proud. Alright?
This is Bim Fernandez, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Where you are, in Africa, Europe, America, I remain a success. Don't mind my voice. Finance, don't mind my voice. Mozambique, don't mind my voice. I'm a number one. I'm boy. All right, be a good boy, be a good girl, be a good woman, be a good woman. Love your husband, love your wife. No fighting in Africa. One nation, one world, one love. Keep watching. Sahara Reporter, I remain the success. Fine boy.
Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. The outgoing political party that is the ruling party in Nigeria, the People's Democratic Party, is going through a transformation. Just this week, the party's chairman resigned, the chairman of the Board of Trustees resigned. Now we are honored to have with us the publicity secretary of the party, Mr. Olisa Metu, joining us to help us understand what is going on within the PDP. Mr. Metu, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you, Rudolph.
Okay, so the simple question is this. What's going on within the PDP?
Absolutely, it's a re-engineering. In the last few weeks, our party, the PDP, has been in the news more for internal challenges and struggles and less for preparations for active opposition. Because the last campaigns bred a lot of acrimony, bitterness in the system. It's still ongoing, and a lot of people became partisan. The love for different parties, it aroused passion, especially in our party. Some people who had been inactive politically became active. Workers, civil society, some other people, the love for our president brought them nearer to the party. So after the elections, everyone was disappointed. They have channeled our energy to try to recreate a new PDP, a PDP they believe would be active in facing the opposition. How some of them have gone about it, well, entirely against the spirit of our constitution and not promoting unity in our party. But we cannot deny the fact that they are doing it. They have good intentions and they are really passionate about putting the passions of our party. So we have to harness all those energy to be more positive. But first of all, we need to prepare ourselves to be active opposition. This government is coming with some goodwill of the Nigerian people, the incoming government, and it's going to take a lot for Nigerians to listen to our option. We want to focus on issues, on policies and programs. That is the only way we can come. We cannot be trading insults or bitterness with the government that is coming. We need to reconnect to the Nigerian people before they can listen to our own side. And the only way we can do it is to have an intellectual approach on issues and programs. We need Nigerians to see the alternatives and options to whatever this government will be presenting. We need to take that debate to a very intellectual level.
Now, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Anthony Anini, resigned and said that he was doing so that President Jonathan could take control of the PDP. Who is in control of the PDP now?
The National Working Committee of the PDP is in charge of the affairs of this PDP. For a long time, people have been mistaking government or government forces or government people to be in charge of party administration. Unfortunately, we have lost government. So in the next few weeks, months, and years, it will be obvious that party administrators are in charge of management of the party. We will manage it well. The interference from other quarters will no longer be there. Party supremacy will be enthroned, and party discipline will be reestablished so that people understand exactly that what party discipline is all about. That's exactly what we're going to do in the next few weeks.
So you are saying that President Jonathan is now going to be in control of the party?
The National Working Committee is in charge of the party. That's what I said.
Okay. All right.
Completely in control of the party.
Yeah, okay. But in the last few weeks, what we've seen is that there appears to be ongoing conflict between the people working for the president or the presidency and the National Working Committee of the party, which you are a member of. Why is it happening now?
Well, I'm happy that we took this up with the president. The president has been on the side of the party administrators of the National Working Committee. Some aides of the president did not understand that the PDP is not a department of the presidency. It's not a government agency. Because, like I told our former chairman, Amadu Adamu Mwazo is a good man, but for some reason, I think he allowed the influence of some agents of government to bear in the party administration. You need to distinguish, you need to distance the party from government in terms of the management and the affairs. That was a mistake that happened. For now, we are in the process of establishing party supremacy. We formed government within 1 year of being in operation. The PDP was formed August 1998, and by May 29, 1999, they are taking over. They had power. So the party supremacy, party discipline, obeying party officers did not really get established before government officers, workers, the presidency took control of affairs of the party. And this affected us negatively in so many ways. So this National Working Committee is about to build a new PDP from the right, from the low level, where people will actually believe, be committed to the party. Not necessarily for what they will get from government, but because of the love of the party. We want, you see, even in Nigeria, a lot of people like English football. A lot of people are Arsenal supporters, Chelsea supporters, Man U, Man City, and they do not do this for what they will get from those clubs. They're doing it because they love those clubs. We want to establish people that love our party for who we are and to help our party in making sure that we gain power in 2019.
Now look at this. Most of the aides of the president, someone like Femi Fani-Kayode, they came out to say that the failure of this campaign should be blamed on your committee, National Working Committee. He said that if they did not do what they did, that the president will have lost by wider margins. How do you rebuild a party when you still have key operatives in the party blaming your own working committee? And they actually said that you should resign, that people in that committee should all resign, but it appears that you are staying. What do you think about Femi Fani-Kayode, people like that in the party? How do you move forward with them?
Well, Femi Fani-Kayode was a key member of the presidential campaign organization. But I don't think you can describe him as a key member of our party. He has not held any office in the party, he's not been active in the party administration. You can't describe him. And as a national officer, I will not be discussing ordinary members of the party. I think it's what local government or state can discuss affairs. Like last week, we had some petitions from the state which we received, and as is customary with the party administration, and in line with our constitution, we referred it to the state to find out Some people had petitioned on whether he's a member of the party, or whether he's a bona fide member, CPA member, or whether he even voted during the election. That's their own to find out, not necessarily at this level. So I will not dignify him with a response on this issue. We deal with the elect people, stakeholders, super delegates of the party, so to say. His own comment, he is not in a position to know exactly the workings of the party. He came back or he came into contention just last year, and he worked for the presidency, for the presidential campaign. We didn't appoint him. He didn't work for us, not for the party itself. So he works for the presidential campaign. He can speak on behalf of the presidential campaign. But in terms of party administration, no, I will not discuss him.
So why should some people in the party be saying that he should be probed if he's not a member of the party or he's not that important?
I cannot say whether he's a registered member or not. We have referred, the National Working Committee referred the matter to the states for them to find out from the ward. So it is speculative now to discuss such matters.
Okay.
But we know that he was heavily involved with the presidential campaign. He worked for the presidential campaign. Whether he was positive or negative, whether he added value or he didn't add value is debatable. That's a talk for another day. That's not my concern. My concern is in terms of moving our party forward, repositioning our party, we have to focus on things that are beneficial to our party members and things that our party members want to hear. I don't think they want to hear us exchanging banters or talking about things with ordinary members. No, we will not do that.
Okay.
A lot of people will be disappointed. No. I have been in party administration for 16 years. I might not be able to speak about government, I might not be able to speak about legislature, but I can speak about party administration. I've been the longest serving party PDP administrator in history.
Now, talking about stakeholders in PDP, the governor of Ekiti State is a stakeholder, Governor Fayose.
Major stakeholder, he's a super delegate.
Yes, good. And he is also criticizing your committee, your National Working Committee. He was one of those people insisting that the chairman should resign. What do you think about his position, about how your committee did in the election?
Well, I don't think Ayo Fayose, a very good friend, he has never spoken against the National Working Committee. He spoke against the national chairman. Now the national chairman has resigned, so there is no need for us to discuss it again. But there is something that is curious. People are agitating. Some people said, well, the chairman has resigned, the chairman board of trustee has resigned, so maybe the body is crumbling, the party is crumbling. And I smile to the deciding mind. Is there a coincidence that the chairman of the party and the chairman of the board of trustees resigned the same day? People should be more discerning than what they're saying. The national committee is in charge. They're completely in charge of this party. And there is nothing I can say about that.
Now, a lot of people said that there were moves by some members of the PDP to see if former President Olusegun Obasanjo will come back to help to rebuild the party, and that he said no. Was there any move like that? And do you think that he will be needed to rebuild the PDP?
I am definitely not aware of that. Being a former president, being a former chairman of the board of trustees, no matter what President Obasanjo does against our party, we will never speak against him. In the party, the PPP officers, we will not forget his contributions to the development and the progress of our party. So we will not speak about him in public. But whether we've gone ahead to ask him to come back, no, we've not done that. We have never said this.
Will you want to do that? Do you think? Okay.
It is too early. It is too early to discuss. We have members. People are still hurting about what happened, how we lost power. Because I do not think that APC got victory. I think we lost the election more than APC winning the election. We lost the election. So a lot of people are hurting in the PDP. We need to rebuild. We need to get ourselves together. We need to reconnect to the Nigerian people before we can start talking about who to approach or whether our people are coming back or not. There is basically a disconnect. A lot of people were not happy with certain things. It happened either with the party or the government or some people that they had personal issues with. So we need to rebuild politically before we can talk about approaching some of our common members. But I must tell you something. The spirit of the PDP still lives in most of our leaders who have left. The governors, the senators, House of Reps, the people who were president, vice president, the spirit of the party still lives in them. Yes, they left because of certain things, but the spirit of the PDP is still living there.
All right, Mr.
No matter what happens, they still love our party.
Yeah, Mr. Sameto, we'll take a break. When we come back, we are going to continue this conversation. I want to get your opinion on the plan, or so to say, that were reported in the media about merging with other political parties, and also the social media attack. I heard that your PDP social media account was hacked. I want you to address that, and some other questions about how the PDP did in the last 16 years. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hello, hi, my name is Andrew Josumo, the director of Mother of George. You're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
My name is Novalet Bulawayo. You are watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
How you doing? My name is Daniel Ademinoka. I'm a film producer and director, and you are watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa. That's what it is, Sahara TV.
This is Nature. You're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
This is Dr. Melva Green, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Greetings, family. This is Donisha Prendergast, and you are watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa. Don't go nowhere.
Welcome back to the second part of our conversation with the Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Mr. Ole Sameto. Mr. Sameto, welcome back to Sahara TV.
Thank you, Rudolph.
Okay, so this week, I think, we saw this image of Governor Amaechi taking control of the Governors Forum. The governors met for the first time in about 18 years and essentially said that it was a mistake that Amaechi was not declared the winner of that election that led to his eventually leaving the party. Does the PDP feel that that was one of the major mistakes they made in the last 1 year or so?
Truth, the facts of what happened when they met, not very clear to me. I will not want to speak on certain things I'm not aware of. But I do know that they met and they resolved to work together. I also know that some other governors have refuted that they were part of that arrangement. But anything that happens with the body of governors, which is not a recognized body by the Constitution, I will not want to speak. It's an association of governors, and they're free to take any decision that they want. But as the police capacity, he has no clear whatsoever unfortunate. What we rather concern ourselves with is the PDP Governors Forum. But the Nigerian Governors Forum, I really do not know much about their affairs or what they're doing right now.
Okay, your line is not very clear. Let's try again and make sure that our viewers can hear what you're saying. But let me ask you about these tribunals are now sitting and they are looking at the last election there are a lot of concerns about what happened in Rivers State and Akwa Ibom states. I want to know what would be the outcome? How would the PDP feel if eventually the tribunals overturn the outcome of the governorship elections in Rivers and Akwa Ibom state?
It will not happen. It will definitely not happen. The people voted for the PDP and it will not happen. We will not sit and watch what happened in the Southwest, what happened again. The Islamic judgments will not happen again. We have seen that the APC were planning to put out things in the media and influence the tribunal members, influence the judges, and influence the public into thinking that there were certain things that were wrong with the elections. And we have brought it to the court of public opinion for Nigerians to know. What exactly is the issue? They are stating that the number of voters are a lot more than the number of that was recorded by the
card readers.
The two elections, the presidential election and the House of Assembly elections, I voted without card, and I had a Senate form. So I don't understand, because I know there are a lot of people that didn't have card readers voted, and I made provisions for incident forms. So let us wait until the tribunal sits, and they will find out that the laws of INEC, the laws of our land were followed in those elections. Our people, look at what the governor of Akwa Ibom did. Look at what he has done. Why will he not win? Why will he not win? And he chose a very good candidate. So we want Akwa Ibom clear and clear. In Rivers State, yes, Amechi was elected governor, PDP governor, but most people were not happy that he deserted PDP and that he worked with a party which ran against someone from a neighboring state. So he affected the election. He had a good candidate. Peter Side is a good candidate, but the sentiments of the people were against him because he belonged to a party that was contesting victory, contesting for an election against their son, their in-law. So that's exactly what happened. We do not entertain any fears. We will come out victorious again.
What do you think about this news report from Rivers State that a lot of people actually died during this election? Does that make you feel that it was conducted in a free and fair way?
Any place that people die, any loss of life in an election is condemnable. I read that a few people died. Whether they died as a result of attempting to rig, or in terms of intimidation, or who caused it, or how it happened, I do not know. But I know that passions were definitely aroused. And I think the PDP should be commended for the role that we played during this campaign. The hate campaign, the bitterness with which the APC have brought to bear on the social media and the populace from 2 years back had affected the minds of people. We have never had an election that witnessed such bitterness. There would have been loss of lives in other states, not only Rivers, in a lot of places. And our concern now is how to purge our people on both sides now of the bitterness. Even amongst the PDP followers, they are trying to imitate the people, thinking that party media or publicity is all about insulting or spreading hate or spreading bitterness in a frustrated manner, or insulting people and laying a lot of abuses on others. We're in the process of trying to cleanse our people, the minds of our PDP people, from such bad aspects of our democracy. We do hope that all others concerned will engage in such process. We need our campaigns, our politics to be played in a very clean manner, with good heart. It's a competition. Somebody will win, somebody will lose. It's about the choice of the people. It's about who has the better plan and who exactly do they want. Nigerians have chosen our opponents to govern them. We have no problem about that. We have to come back, sit back, reorganize, try and reconnect next time so that we can win. There should not be bitterness about it. It's not a question of abuse or insult or killing people or harming people. There should not be any violence.
Now,
that is what we're preaching to our members.
Now, as part of rebuilding the PDP, does it involve merging the PDP with other political parties?
Definitely no. I laughed when I read in the papers that I said we were talking about merger. And our statement was very clear, very concise. We are not discussing with anybody about merger. Our constitution does not allow merging with other political parties. We can accommodate other people. We are open for people to join us, but they will join as individual members, not as associations. No. Our constitution did not contemplate it. Maybe when we do a constitutional review, if we think it's necessary, then we'll make provisions in our constitution for such. But for today, you can only join our party as an individual. Not, we cannot have measures. No.
Now, what about the people who left the party recently, even the people who are leaving now to join APC? What is the party position? How are you going to bring some of them back? There was an interview where President Jonathan said recently that those who are leaving the PDP to go to APC will come back hungry. Is that the hope of the party, that they will come back with their stomach, empty stomach?
It's a very, very difficult question and a very, very difficult issue for us in the party. Because some people left. These are people that we build a party with, we admire, but they left us at a critical point. Some others left after we lost the election. That spoke more about their content of character than against us. Now, do we consider, we have to reconcile between the feelings of the people who have kept faith and been loyal to this party all this while, and they never left. We have to reconcile that with the fact that we need to rebuild our party with more members. So at what point does loyalty, commitment, and dedication come to play? Do you go ahead and reward people who dumped you or who betrayed you or who worked against you? We are still discussing. It's a very difficult issue for the party to. We need to reconcile both aspects. We have to come to an agreement or a procedure for doing that. Some people are of the opinion that we should close shop. If we have 1,000 members of the PDP, we will build with those 1,000 members. But for those that left us after we lost the presidential election, I say shame on them. You cannot decide that when we've lost an election is when you leave our party. If you believe that things were wrong with our party, you should have left before the outcome of the presidential election. It is not, you were supporting the government, you are not supporting the PDP. Now there is no more government. We will know the true people that love our party. It's not the government. Thank you.
Now, well, I'm rounding up. I know we have to go, but the vice. Let me ask you this before the final question. You are now talking about being in the mood to run an opposition party. Will you spend the next 4 years wishing that APC should succeed or working for them to fail? What is going to be the essence of this opposition you are planning to put in place?
The truth is that we are in politics to enhance value and to make sure that we achieve the best for the ordinary Nigerian, for the Nigerian people. It must not be PDP that will do that. That's why we're in politics. It must not be PDP. Any political party that can do that can as well do that. APC is taking over power in the next 1 week. We wish them well. We wish that our democracy will progress. We want our economy to be better. We want things to be handled better. We want them to improve what we have done to the benefit of the entire country. We will support them as long as they are doing things that will move our country and the economy forward. But for the others, we will show the alternatives to their programs. If they have done well, Nigerians, if they do well, Nigerians will continue to support them. But since it is not a dictatorship, not a military regime. We must provide the other side of the coin so that people, because that's the hallmark of democracy, the question of choice. People will now choose, do we continue with this APC or do we go back to PDP? Now that PDP has reformed, now that PDP has cleansed, and in terms of APC, have they done better than PDP? Have we seen improvements in infrastructural development, in practice of democracy, in the tenets and principles of democracy, in terms of approach to issues, health sector, education, a lot of other areas? So if there has not been manifest improvement, well, the PDP will still be the alternative to the people of Nigeria. But for us, we wish it to do well, because if APC develops, if they improves, if they do well in the next 4 years, it is not APC that will enjoy it. It is the Nigerian people that enjoy it. This was exactly what they missed when our president was in power, when we were in power. The attack on President Goodluck Jonathan was like they were attacking him. No, they were attacking the Nigerian nation. Some of these things that they did worked against us as a nation and stalled growth of the economy. We will not repay them with such. We will work with them to improve our country.
Now, one last question. The Vice President-elect said this week that your party left the country in the worst economic situation ever. I want to know if you agree, and I want you to answer.
I don't think he said our party. He said that they are taking the reins of government, they are taking control of government with the worst economy.
Well, but your party has been in power for 16 years.
Let me explain, sir.
Yeah.
Let me explain, Rudolph. Let me explain.
Yeah.
Now, in saying that, what he did not say is that the $60 billion that he mentioned, Lagos State, River State, Kano State, control more than a quarter of it, just those 3 states. More than even federal government. The debt that they are leaving for the incoming administration caters for more than 25% of what he's saying. And these are APC states. And by the time you go through the records, you see that APC states are owing a lot more than PDP states. In Katsina State, the governor left no debt at all. He actually left $4 billion for the incoming government. So it is an indictment on his party, not necessarily on our party. He is talking about the Nigerian economy, and we look at it state by state. These states are owing, these states borrowed more. You see from the statistics that it's actually an indictment. He spoke too soon. He looked at the figures before he spoke. Well, we know they wanted PDP to fail, but they didn't prepare for governance. For governance, they did not prepare for governance, and Nigerians will see that very soon. They should settle down, sit down, because the way they are going, I won't be surprised in the next 3 months, 4 months, Lai Mohammed or the Vice President-elect, they won't be criticizing federal government without remembering that they are the federal government. They don't remember. They used to be in opposition. So right now, we are not impressed with what they are doing. They are trying to oppose. To oppose things that they haven't settled down for governance. No, they should settle down to know that the reins and the affairs of this country is being entrusted in their hands. They have not shown that they are prepared. They have not shown the competence, the capacity, the readiness to handle the administration of the country.
Now, one last question. For ordinary Nigerians, today, and up till next week when they will see the new president and vice president take over, they will be living in a country where there is no power, lack of fuel, a country that is essentially broke because most state governors cannot pay workers, and even the federal government is borrowing money to pay the workers. Is that how they are going to remember the PDP for what they did in the last 16 years?
No, definitely no. But Nigerians remember that when PDP came into power, in 1999, we didn't have fuel, we didn't have power at all. We've improved. We didn't have a road network. We've improved the road network. Nigerians remember that we had no communication system. We have no telecommunication. Today we have it in abundance. Nigerians remember that then schools were shut. Most of the schools were on strike. Today they are not on strike. Nigerians remember that we inherited the worst health states in the history of our country. But most of all, Nigerians remember something. Nigerians remember the PDP for being the only political party in the history of our country that sustained democracy for 16 years. Nigerians will remember that we improved on our electoral system. Nigerians remember us for allowing people the freedom of information, the freedom of the movement, freedom of expression for people. I mean, democracy has excelled in Nigeria. Any other government, military or otherwise, as well do infrastructural development. But in terms of the practice of democracy, Nigerians will remember PDP as a truly democratic party that enthroned democratic principles and practice in our country. That is what we'll be remembered for.
All right, Mr. Olesameto, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We hope that in days to come you will be joining us again as opposition person speaking for the opposition party.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
We're not scared. We're not scared.
Yeah.
We do well.
Thank you so much. When we come back, we'll continue our show today, so stay tuned.
I say roll it, shake it, African mama roll it. Oh yeah, wind to the left and wind to the right. Dance like you be zombie. Hi, bonjour, je m'appelle Museba. My name is Museba. Keep watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Yo, it's your boy, Mr. Lumentin, aka Mr. Naughty, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa, and keep it locked.
Baddest. Luke she's here, and you guys are watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Trust Sahara to give you all the scoop. Stay tuned. It's Niniola.
I go by the name of Jesse James, repping Chocolate City. That's what it is, right? Shout out to Sahara TV. I'm the biggest fan of Sahara TV. We need to talk.
My name is Femi Anikula Kokuti, and you are watching Sahara TV. Don't stop watching. Arararara. Stop.
Hi viewers, welcome back. It's the callback segment. I'm filling in for Adiola. She's not in at the moment. My name is Toyosi Phillips. And with me in the studio is the one and only Humble Prince, Olu Falwe.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the callback segment, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, welcome back. The number to call is 917-284-9811. And we're talking about Buruji Kasumu. Yes, the Kashamo. There was news today that the NDLEA had surrounded his apartment or his house, and they were trying to get him, the story is they're trying to get him extradited to the US to face his drug-related charges. And we asked for your opinions on social media, and there has been quite a lot of feedback from you guys watching. Yeah, but what do you think about the story?
You know, good job by Rudolph. Rudolph interviewed his media advisor, Austin Oriko. I hope I pronounced that right. And, you know, the first thing he was saying was that the NDLA, they have no warrant to arrest him, so, you know, he doesn't think it's valid, and this is just like a plot by, you know, maybe Buddy George's wives, and there's some conspiracy going on within the party to try to, you know, apprehend him before he becomes senator-elect. And like you said, you know, there's been a lot of feedback on social media, but, you know, one of the things I think is like, you know, if he's innocent, he should just not saying he wants to commit suicide and just give himself up and, you know, face the charges head on. What do you think?
But has that been confirmed? Did he really say he wants to commit suicide?
Yes, the assistant did say that during the interview when Rudolph interviewed him. He did say that, and he said it was just to ward off, you know, just to cause some kind of distraction and everything. Yes, but he did say that he wants to commit suicide. I don't think he means it. I mean, I don't know any Nigerians that would ever take their own lives, especially ones that are rich. So, you know, but that's just what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Kenneth Kemen Dapoop, I hope I got your name right, on Facebook. He says, "Time up, go and clear your name and return to be sworn in as senator of a reformed Nigeria. Suicide is not an option, Kashimu."
Yeah.
And Atiku Ibrahim says, this indicates that change has come to our land. Anybody that commits a crime must be brought to book, no matter who and what. The likes of Gani, Fasheun, Asari, Tompolo, Modu Sheriff, Ateke, etc. should take note. No nepotism, no impunity, no tribalism, and no sectionalism.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, you know, the people that have spoken, you know, let him go and defend himself, and we'll see. But guys, we'd like to hear from you. The number to call is 917-284-9811. What are your thoughts on the, you know, the senator-elect being barricaded in his own house? From what we hear and everything. So, you know, I think we have some more tweets, right? Some more Facebook messages.
Yeah, Ashi Asimiyu Idowu Apampa says, the Lord is good. Thank God for victory of Buhari. Kashamu was untouchable during Jonathan's regime. But Jonathan's regime is still on. It's
how
still
many minutes left? Yeah,
it's
I
still
think we have
on.
about maybe an hour. Wait, what's that? Just less than a week.
Less than a week, yeah.
So
But why do you think no PDP person is coming out to support him or to make a statement for him?
again, yeah, there's probably that's because there's turmoil in the party. It's just a shame, man. You know, I guess it indicates that maybe there is something he's hiding. You know, so and I don't think they want to be what do you call it? Complicit in this. I think they just want to steer clear of there. What do you think?
I mean, I feel if he hasn't done anything wrong, he should come out and make a statement and not be afraid, really. And I don't think the American government will just name somebody and say, oh, you did this when you did not do this. And if he feels he is innocent, then he should come here and clear his name. And clear his name not just here, but in Nigeria as well.
Yeah, but well, according to him, he didn't commit any crime.
Exactly. So if you are saying you're not committing a crime and they are saying you did commit a crime, I think you should come out and give proof that you did not commit that crime.
Well, there's a warrant out for him, and that's a fact here in the United States. But does that warrant cross country lines? I mean, is that warrant valid in the United States? You know, and like the assistant said, the NDLA, they don't have a warrant, so he's not sure who these people are. They didn't really show any. I'm not sure if he said they didn't show any kind of identification, but he's not. He doesn't know who these guys are. For all we know, they could just be thugs.
I doubt that they are thugs. We actually do have a video of the NDLEA outside Kashamu's house. Do we have that video to show now?
Yeah, I think we've actually been playing it all day. Again, like I said, we'd like to hear from you. The number to call is 917-284-9811. And we're talking about the Buruji Kashamu case. And it's interesting, his case actually spawned up the series Orange is the New Black. That was like the basis, that's what, I haven't watched the show, but they said that's what really...
Orange is the New Black?
Yes.
No, I doubt it.
No, it did.
It's but really.
Yes, that's how the case came about. The series came about.
The series.
The drug case against him was one of the inspirations behind the series.
Okay, that's unheard of. We'll have to check that one.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard that. But on Facebook we have Muhammad Baha Ahmad, who says this is nothing but politics. Why would they arrest him illegally? Those planning, I'm guessing, all this rubbish, are they saints? Is Obasanjo a saint or is Tinubu a saint? They are all criminals. If Kashamu should be extradited, then I think that criminal called Tinubu should also be prosecuted for corruption by the incoming administration. Okay, I guess we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, is that Nasir from the United Kingdom?
Yeah, this is Nasir speaking.
Hi, Nasir. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, hello. Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, so what do you have to say about Kashamu's case?
Well, I just want to say that for me, frankly, I don't care if the reason why he is, being extradited or, the efforts of trying to extradite him is political or not. But I think it's a positive development for Nigeria. Whatever the reasons, justice should be served. I frankly don't really care.
So do you think he's guilty of the charges?
Well, if he isn't, I heard he was talking about like committing suicide.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. And yeah, and even the court case, I think he went against some you know, ruling of the court or something like that. I'm not really sure. But I mean, he should be extradited. I don't really, you know, I don't really care, but I feel that justice should be done. And Nigeria, like, you know, we should stop, you know, change from the norm where you can easily, you know, go get free within some sort of like whatever you do. But my main issue is with the media. Like, unlike what we have in other countries where something like this is happening, and then you have, you know, the media looking around trying to, like, you know, get information and pass to the press. It's not happening in Nigeria. Where, I mean, like, I saw an interview with the Sahara reporter, which is quite good. But you're not getting that in Nigeria. Like, no one even cares what's happening. We don't get to even see what's happening.
Thank you very much,
I don't know.
Nasir, thank you very much. Yeah, callers, we'd like to hear from you. The number to call is 917-284-9811. And please, when you call, can you turn down your computers or however you're listening to us? That way we can get rid of the feedback. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Do you think the media is not showing interest?
Not now. They should have shown
because that's what
before.
he was. That's what Nasir just said.
Yeah,
now
it's
that
true.
He believes the media is not showing interest.
Right. Until we, I think, until Sahara really broke the story, that's when they started really getting some momentum.
Yeah.
You know, so. And like you said, you know, Orange is the New Black is a very, very popular show. And, you know, they did some research and showed that, you know, hey, this guy's actually won it. And he denied it, said he's not the one, that it's his brother and stuff like that. That's actually the one. But, you know, we don't even know if his brother exists. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Wale Adedoyin on Facebook says, I do not support Kashamu in any form, but I am also not in support of any form of jungle justice. You cannot just storm the house of a public figure to effect an arrest without an arrest warrant. This is illegal. Correcting illegality with illegality is illegal. Go to court, get the papers, and send him to US, if that is the decision of the court. A country's first responsibility is to presume its citizens innocent, particularly when it's about extraditing your own to a foreign land.
Yeah, the guy has a point. You know, we can't just, excuse me, you can't just, you know, the guy's saying, okay, show me a warrant that I'm supposed to be arrested or extradited to the United States, and I'll comply. But till then, you know, I'm going to just... I kind of agree with the guy saying that is kind of jungle justice.
Yeah. And it's funny how I was thinking the Nigerians in Indonesia, was it Malaysia or Indonesia, who got executed for the drug. We didn't really, the country didn't step up. Nobody from the presidency actually said anything about it. And then now it's about our own being extradited, and it's almost like they're trying to speed up the process.
Well, interesting, yeah. We'll take that. We have a new caller. Benga, thank you for calling SaharaTV.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I want to say about
Benga, please, can you turn down your computer?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Benga.
Okay. What I want to say concerning the issue is that the NDLA should just get the warrant from the court. They should not, not that I don't support that they should extradite him, but they should get the legal documents to do that.
Right.
Right.
Yes, they should get the legal document to do it. It's good if they want to do it. Anytime they want to do it, they can do it, but they should just get the court backing.
Right.
Not just go to his house and bungle him out and take him to US.
Right, right. Thank you very much,
Thank you, Benga. You made a good point.
You.
Yeah, and I think that's what everybody was saying, that, you know, you can't just... he doesn't know who these people are. I mean, show me a warrant. Even here in the United States, you can't just show up to somebody's house
without a warrant.
Arrest them. Yeah, you know, you have to get an arrest warrant. Now, if they were out, maybe if it was outside on the street or something. But, you know, as far as the guy's concerned, he hasn't committed any offense, at least Not in Nigeria. If he did, they probably won't. He won't be the senator-elect. That was going to be sworn in next week. So.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to affect his swearing in, though?
Oh, definitely. And actually, we could put up the. I think it is. You know, like the guy Rudolph interviewed from Premium Times was saying that the people are concerned, like what kind of politicians or senators are we really electing?
But is that going to be the first public figure in Nigeria that is, or that has committed a crime?
I say no, but this one, like I said, was in the limelight. You know, it's thank the producers of Orange is the New Black for putting him out there. I guess, but no, it's not. He's not the first. A lot of our politicians are dirty. He cited that. Maybe the people from Buddy George's wife's
he said
camp
Buddy George's wife.
Little factions within the PDP. I think somebody even said that maybe President Jonathan was behind it, but the guy from Premium Times, completely dispelled that. And I think we have another caller. Yeah.
Ramsey. We have a caller. Hi, Ramsey from Washington, D.C.
Hi.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for giving me a chance to end my view here. Actually, hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I think that the Nigerian government really, have nothing to do, wants to help U.S. government send a Nigerian to U.S. for prosecution when we actually have, many Nigerians who have looted the country dry, and they have not arraigned any of them in Nigerian courts.
Yeah.
And I think the Nigeria should sanitize Nigeria first. The government, if they're serious, they should clean up Nigeria, not helping other countries clean up whatever has happened in that country, whatever another person committed in that country. We should clean up Nigeria first. And it seems to me that the Nigerian government is not serious. They don't know what is, priority, what they should be focusing on.
Right. Thank you very much, Ramsey. Thank you. That just goes back to what I was saying about there being people in Nigeria who should be charged for certain crimes.
Not only,
and in public office.
Yeah, but
offices.
They haven't been convicted, not convicted, but they haven't even been indicted on any charges. Nobody has brought charges up against them. Those that have brought charges, that have charges brought up against them, they beat them. So, hey, it's no big deal. As far as these people are concerned, they're free. And I think that's what this guy is saying, and he has a point. I think
he does have a point.
Yeah, it's like the other guy was saying, I think it's rather significant of the Nigerian media and government, look to other places too. Why you just...
but we're going to be talking to Kashamo's attorney.
Yes,
he's going to be speaking with us later. So we will hear from him and see if that would affect him. But on Facebook, someone says, the only thing I've heard people say, people that would comment on our story say things like, why is that a man like this? Why is it that a man like this is coming to make laws in Nigeria? I'm guessing this person was going to say. It means that if he's making laws in Nigeria, he will also make drug laws for pushing of a drug. Oh, that was said by Festus Owete, the Premium Times editor.
Yeah, that was what I thought, right.
Wow. Okay, what do you have to say about that? He's going to be making drug laws?
The guy, I don't think the guy is going to make
drug laws.
I mean, come on. But he does have a point, They don't think this guy has any kind of credibility, and they don't think he's worthy of being a senator now, especially in the new administration. So,
Yeah, because the new administration is actually saying they're anti-corruption, they're going against everything, they're here to clean up Nigeria and stuff. So this will probably not look good.
I don't know how realistic that is, but honestly, if he could clean up at least, I'll say anywhere between a quarter and half of the corruption, I think Nigeria would be in a better place. I don't think Nigeria is ever going to be free of corruption. It's just, especially not in 4 years. And we'll actually talk about that during our next callback segment. We want to know what you guys are expecting from the new president-elect, General Buhari. Oh, he just said we shouldn't call him General anymore. So, just Muhammadu Buhari, yes. In the first 100 days, what are you guys expecting? That's going to be our next callback segment.
We have one more Facebook comment. Dalihat Bente says they should arrest the criminal instantly before he will come to the National Assembly and turn the chamber into drugs complex.
I say, you guys with your Facebook comments, man. Again, you know, we don't know if that they can extradite him.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we have a new caller. Hello, Dio. Do you
Hi.
hear us?
Hello, I can hear you.
Hi, Dio. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Germany. I'm a
Nice.
student and studying in Germany for my master's.
Great, great. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, what do you have to say about the Kashamu case?
I think it's a welcome development. I think it's good, but it's a little bit fishy because I'm saying, why is it coming now under the PDP government? If it was under the APC, then we'd say, okay, fine. But I think it's part of the fallout in the PDP because why wasn't he extradited a long time ago? But in any case, whatever it is, I think it's a welcome development, and I think he should go face the charges against him in the UN.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dio. Thank you.
Yeah, there is, you know, there is a case against him. I mean, I think that is a fact. That's a known fact, and there is a warrant out for his arrest. And you know, I don't think the Nigerian government wants the U.S. to think that they're
weak.
Yeah, that and you know, harboring criminals. Exactly. So you know, if the guy, you know, I listened to the interview he did with Adiola, and you know, he was, to be honest with you, he was just all over the place. So that's not me. That was my brother. We don't even know where the brother is. Can you know?
Or if there's a brother.
You know, we try to give the people the benefit of the doubt in these cases, but you know, a lot of times these things just don't add up. So it's just unfortunate. So again, at least let the NDLEA come and say, look, we have this paper it's a court order for your arrest. And
Yeah.
you know, give up himself, come, face the charges. And I think the only reason he doesn't want to face charges because he knows, you know, there's just so much evidence against him. And everything. Yeah. So, like you said, we're going to be speaking to his attorney later, and I definitely would like to see what he's got to say.
Yeah, what's unfortunate, though, is that he's now threatening to commit suicide.
I honestly don't think
I
he
hope he
means that.
doesn't
Yeah, we
take
have a
his
new
own
caller.
life. Hi, Joy.
George.
George.
Yes.
I apologize. Hi, George. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is my own contribution. I think this drastic measure that has been taken against Kashamu, I think that's the best for most Nigerian criminals. This is a guy who has enough money, ready to compromise the judiciary. This is a guy who has enough money, ready to even compromise the security agency. If not for the way Ibori was extradited to UK and eventually was imprisoned there, Ibori would have still been in Nigeria now, moving freely with all the crimes committed. So I fully support, by hook or by crook, Kashamu should be extradited. If he's innocent, I know America will clear him. There is justice right here. Let him be extradited. Let them use any means whatsoever. Because if they don't use this kind of drastic measure, Kashamu will buy everybody over, compromise the judiciary, and he will remain a free man. And guess what? He's going to be a model to other Nigerians who will believe that, oh, I can push job tomorrow and I'll go scot-free with it. So by whatever means, let him come and answer his case, whether legally or illegally, because he himself, he has broken the law several times. So let the law be broken to extradite him down.
Okay.
That is my point.
Yeah, George, you make a very good point, but let me ask you this. So what do you think about the other politicians that have committed, allegedly committed grievous crimes that are still walking scot-free?
We should start with Kashamu.
No, but sorry, but these politicians preceded Kashamu, though.
Oh, yes, but let him move this case. Let him be the scapegoat. Others will follow.
Okay.
That is just the plain fact. We must start with somebody.
Right.
Once Kashamu case is taken care of, others will follow suit.
Right.
That is just the plain fact. We can't say because we've not tried others, we should let Kashamu go scot-free. Let him be the scapegoat. We just have to make scapegoat. Nigeria is in a mess. I came to this country through the visa looking after my NYC. I know what I saw in Kaduna when I did my NYC. Nigeria is in a big mess. Most of you who have not been there, they wouldn't know what people are going through. Someone has to be used as a scapegoat, and everything will follow suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, George. Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, viewers, we're going to go on a break now. We will still have you call in, and we would want to know what you want or what you expect of Buhari, I was going to say General Buhari.
No, he's Buhari now.
Buhari in the first 100 days. Just take this number down, 917-284-9811. And when we come back, we will speak with you.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, it's Isaac. Pow, that's how we do it. Red Star, representing. You're watching SaharaTV, don't go anywhere. Africa, you shit? Let's go.
I am like you more, and I like you when I invite you to my party. Because I like you and energize you and advertise you to my party. I'm a champagne papa and I want to know you. Hey, what up? This is your boy YQ, and you're watching SaharaTV. It's all about Africa. It's all about the continent. And it's all about one people. And this is Africa.
What up, my people? What's going on? It's your favorite boy, Whiskey, representing music. Guess what? You're watching SaharaTV Africa. Keep watching because we just say so. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? It's chilling with my crew, Emanara. You're watching SaharaTV. Everything black, Africa, proud. Alright?
This is Bim Fernandez, and you're watching SaharaTV, Everything Africa.
Where you are, in Africa, Europe, America, I remain the success, don't mind my voice. Finance, don't mind my voice. Most handsome, don't mind my voice. I'm a man number one. I'm boy. All right, be a good boy, be a good girl, be a good woman, be a good woman.
It's very simple for you to answer.
Let's get into it. What continent is Africa in?
Oh, Lord Jesus, geography. It's my worst subject. I can't remember.
I feel that's why damn, that's crazy. I haven't been to school in a long time.
Get out right here, man. Shit.
What region of Africa is South Africa in?
Soweto? I don't know.
Wait, what?
Soweto?
Soweto?
In the southern region.
A smart girl, smart girl.
Friends and family, I'm so sorry that I am that girl right now. Can I just tap dance for you?
We'll be ready.
Oh, no, she didn't. It's sneakers, ladies and gentlemen.
Region Africa is Africa. Oh my God, you are destroyed. No.
What region of South Africa? South Africa? South Africa.
That's a city or something like that. I don't know, and it's sad, and I'm African American.
Man, I feel bad right now. I don't even want to be on the camera no more.
Try again, motherfucker.
You want to answer? What is the capital of Boko Haram?
Honarao.
No, sir. Boko Haram is a terrorist group.
Boko Haram doesn't have a capital.
What is the capital of Boko Haram?
What is Boko Haram?
The fuck is that?
What? I don't think that's a place. Wait, please. I don't think that's a place.
She's right. You still trying to rationalize? It's not a place.
Wait. Of who?
Boko Haram.
Honestly, I never even heard of that.
Boko Haram is a terrorist group.
Oh, that's a terrorist? Like ISIS?
Yeah. Name 3 popular African dance moves.
Dance moves? All right. Moves 1, moves 2, moves 3.
Pondy River. And that's it.
What Lion King song was the national anthem?
What Lion King song is the national anthem? Is that Circle of Life? No, right? No, hold on. I need to get in tune with my roots. I feel bad right now. I don't really know any of the answers to these questions.
The opening song? No. The national anthem?
You mean Tumemnya?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure that song has a meaning. I just don't know what it is.
I don't know. There's no song in the national anthem. None of them, you're right.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
That sound like some tomfoolery.
I think it's the circle of life, y'all. I think it's the circle of life, but it's not. I don't know. I think it's the circle of life.
I don't know.
I don't know. Face is so gorgeous. Hakuna Matata. No, almost got you. Almost got you. Yeah, you were like, you were.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Hakuna Matata?
Nah, is it a Hakuna?
No, it's none of them. There is no such thing as Hakuna Matata. Can you imagine? Hakuna Matata. There is no one. You want the best reactions, huh? Her reaction is, she like.
But that makes no sense. Like, why you trying to make me look stupid today?
You Espanol. No Espanol. So you're Spanish Mickey and Minnie?
Mickey Mouse.
Hey, what side is your left hand on facing the mirror?
Facing the mirror, my left hand is still on my left side, although I'm in the mirror.
Small bunch over here.
My right side. Right side. Right side. Because it switches for reflection. I got that one right?
No.
Side. No, this side. No. Looking on the mirror, it should be the opposite. So no, it should be this side. If you're looking at it. If you're looking at it, it should be your left side.
But if it's be here all day.
Like if you're looking at it, it should be left side. Because if I go like this in the mirror, and I go like this, it should be that.
Okay, you're correct.
Yes, you see, yes, you're trying to psych me out.
I did try to psych you out because you're like, no, I know I'm right. I just know, I know. Yeah. All right.
Hi, my name is Julius the Genius Agu. You know what this is? In case you don't know, you're watching Sahara TV.
I love Sahara TV. Everybody, Sahara TV, man. Go check it. To my body ass.
Hi, I'm Mariama Keita, and keep watching Sahara TV.
Hi, my name is Funke Akindele Oloyede, a.k.a. Jennifer. Keep watching Sahara TV. Don't touch the dial.
My name is K1 the Ultimate, the king of Fiji music, also known as Kwam1. You are watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rodolfo Okonkwo. As we have been reporting, the home of the Senator-elect Buruji Kashamo is under siege by officers of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. His house is surrounded by the officers since 4:30 a.m. this morning. We now want to go inside the house to speak with his attorney, Mr. Ajibola Oluyede, who is right there in the house. Mr. Oluyede, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Please, can you tell us what's going on right now in the house? Where are you? Where is the senator-elect?
Well, I'm downstairs, and he's I'm downstairs in the living room, and he's upstairs in his bedroom.
Okay. So where are the police? Where are the National Drug Enforcement agents? Where are they? Are they inside the building or outside?
They are inside the building and they are outside.
When you say inside the building, inside the compound or inside the house?
Inside the house.
What are they doing there, and what is going on?
Well, apparently they are here, according to the leader who I've spoken to, they're here to arrest Mr. Kashamu.
Did they show you an arrest warrant?
That was the reason why we had a standoff, because they could not produce an arrest warrant, but could they produce anything in writing that authorized them to carry out this kind of exercise.
Now, did they say who sent them there?
They said they were acting under the orders of their chairman at first, and then upon further prodding by me, they admitted that their chairman had received a verbal instruction from the Attorney General of the Federation, and therefore on that basis decided to act in the manner we are seeing now.
So what is the current situation? They are in the House, and the senator-elect is upstairs. You are downstairs with them, I assume. What are we waiting for?
Well, we finally arrived at a compromise that if indeed they were carrying out an arrest and not an abduction, because the major debate today between me and the officers has been as to whether they were carrying out lawful activity on the one hand, and also whether they were carrying out an arrest or an abduction. Now, the reason why I question the legality of their action is because there is a court order made by the Federal High Court in a pending case before the court. The case is pending before the Federal High Court right now, and judgment is to be given. That order was made on the 20th of April.
Okay.
The order was made on the 20th of April, and that order specifically required the Attorney General of the Federation and the NDLEA to stay all action. Those are the words of the order. Stay all action with regard to the alleged extradition request, if any, or abduction. And therefore I said to them, what you are doing now is illegal because you are violating a court order, which means you are not at all operating in accordance with the rule of law. That's the one part of it. The second part of it is that we don't know whether you're carrying out an arrest or an abduction, because you claim that you are under instruction from the Attorney General of the Federation. You have nothing in writing from him. You have no warrant of arrest. You are here at 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and you claim you are making an arrest for the purpose of bringing him to trial on a Monday morning. It doesn't seem to be the truth. So we had a standoff on that basis. Ultimately, they came back to me and said they were confirming, they were acting on instructions of the Attorney General of the Federation, and they were prepared to agree to a compromise. So I said, okay, let's consider a compromise. If indeed your purpose of being here is to secure his attendance at a proceeding, a court proceeding, whatever that might be, on Monday, then it shouldn't be too difficult for you to allow him to stay in his house under house arrest until Monday. So you can take him to Monday, then nobody will be under any anxiety as to whether you were carrying him to the airport today to ship him out to America, as we suspect that you intend to do. So finally, they agreed and said, fine, they do not intend to ship him out to America, and as a result, they agree with me, and they will accept that he stays in his house, and on Monday, he should come to the court to attend some kind of proceedings. We don't know what that proceedings will be about. We don't know how they intend to carry it out. We don't know what court they intend to approach. But that's the position now.
Okay, so effectively he's under house arrest.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you talked about the Attorney General, and did your Did you try to reach out to the Attorney General to confirm what they said?
The Attorney General's telephone lines were switched off all day. In fact, his telephone numbers, the telephone lines were switched off all day today. And so I couldn't reach him, but other people have attempted to reach him, and I believe they did.
What did you hear from them?
Well, it appears that
he approved.
He confirmed that he actually gave verbal instructions to the NDLEA.
Why would the Attorney General do that when we know from the press statement issued by his Keshamo's press office that the Attorney General himself gave an order that nothing like this will happen? What changed?
We don't know what could have changed, but it appears to me that the plan is that he should not be sworn in on the 29th of May. Apparently, those who have taken that decision, and they're not stopping. They don't want. They can't. They won't stop at anything to get that to happen. And I think this last-minute effort is targeted at achieving that purpose.
Now, let me ask you, because the statement that was issued also said, mentioned Chief Bode George and the wife as the people behind this. Who do you think is behind this? Or do you agree that they are the people?
Well, personally, I do not think that. I think that was probably not accurate. Obviously, one cannot leave anything to chance when you are looking at the compendium of political adversaries that Mr. Kashamo has. And when also you consider that Mr. George's wife occupies a very important position in the NDLEA. However, personally, my view would be that it's probably a long shot.
Now, Mr. Kashamo is a very important member of the PDP. Has he been able to speak to the president of the country?
Well, as you know, they have been able to secure his phones. I'm not aware that he has any telephone on him.
They took his phone. Sorry.
Yes, I do not.
Okay. Okay, I want to get that clear.
Yes, I do not think he has the wherewithal to call the president at this time.
Okay. Now, are you saying that they actually met him and took his phone? What else did they take? What else were they?
No, one of the conditions given for the house arrest was that he will surrender his phone.
Okay, okay. He surrendered his phone. Okay. But what about you? Did you make any effort to reach anybody in the PDP?
I've spoken to many people today, and all of them are aghast at this kind of incident. And I know many of them have made efforts to connect with relevant people. Perhaps that is the reason why they are even agreeing to a house arrest.
Now, there were these allegations out there that part of the reason this is going on is because the judges in the case pending in court that your client has bought them over. What do you say to that?
That is totally irresponsible. You know, whoever would say that has no ounce of integrity or patriotism in him or her. To come out like that against a judge who cannot defend himself, to me, is cowardice. Such a person should come out and let us know who he is. Whoever would say that, let him come out boldly into the open and say, this judge is corrupt or is in somebody's pocket, and give us the evidence of that. Instead of making all this snide and irresponsible statements in hiding.
Now, we know, the one that we know that is was open, people had him when he was saying that was the statements by former President Olusegun Obasanjo about your client. He mentioned Kashamu as one of the reasons why he left the PDP. Do you think that it's possible that he had something to do with what is going on now?
Well, you know that in all the processes we have filed in court so far, especially in the fundamental rights application, we have mentioned Chief Obasanjo's name as the instigator of the abduction plan. So it's no longer an issue of suspicion or something. That really is the position that my client has taken. He believes very strongly that Chief Obasanjo was the instigator of this abduction plan. He believes that. He's already on oath in court.
Now, so you believe this is it's an abduction plan. I want to know, what do you think will happen on Monday when he's driven to courts? You don't know the courts, you don't know the proceeding. What do you think will happen from that point?
It will be a very funny situation because, first of all, what the Attorney General ought to do under the law was to have forwarded that request to the court, in which he will be the prosecutor. The Attorney General will be the prosecutor in that extradition proceedings. They will come before the judge with a valid originating process. And on that basis, he would obtain the warrant required for the arrest of the suspect. That is what the law prescribes. Now, he has not only jumped the gun by himself deciding to be prosecutor and judge and everything. He has, as I've told you earlier, he has acted in breach of an order that actually said he should stay all action. So I'm wondering what is going to happen in court, whatever court they're going to go on Monday, because it will become a farce. Because the way I see it is, the judge would wonder why the Attorney General is acting in contempt of the court. And I'm sure that issue will come up on Monday.
Now, you handled Kashamo's case in London, and you're also involved in the case in the United States. What do you think, from what is happening today, what do you think this particular thing going on today will impact it will have in the case in the United States?
Well, the United States actions have been with regard to the unfairness of the existence of the indictment.
15 minutes.
Pardon?
No, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
If you've done, you might have found out that the first attack on that indictment was made in 2009. And that attack was on the basis of the two judgments of the courts in England. The first judgment had said that the United States government suppressed evidence which exonerated Kashamu. That is, evidence of an identification parade in which the kingpin of the drug ring that was broken, and who had mentioned that they had a West African collaborator, said that Kashamu was not the one that he had in mind, that he knows the person, that the person is known to him as Alaji, but Kashamu is not that person he knows as Alaji. He said that to them. They suppressed that evidence. And as a result, the High Court in England nullified the first order of committal made against him. And it was in the second case, there was a second case, commenced immediately after that, he was rearrested, and there was a second case, and at the end of that case, the judge not only found that America had not proved that he is the person wanted in the United States. As you may know, under the treaty between England and America, just as between Nigeria and America, the only thing you have to prove to get a person extradited under that treaty is that he is the person. You have to prove his identity. So not only were not they able to prove the identity in England, the judge actually found that there was somebody else. He said, look, not only have you not proven that it is not Kashamu, The evidence has shown me that there's actually somebody else that you know, that is the person that you are looking for, not this man. And he described that man for them. I said, this is the man. This is his name. That is the one you should be looking for, not this man. So on the basis of that judgment, we went to the United States and said, you need to get rid of this indictment. It's an embarrassment. People keep referring to it, and on that basis, falsely accusing Mr. Kashamu of being involved in drug offenses. Of course, the court said no, they do not recognize United Kingdom judgment. It's not the same as American judgment. They prefer their own judgment, etc. The second time we came again against the indictment was on the basis of speedy trial. We said, since the American government lost the case in England in 2003, they have made no moves against Kashamu for the last 11 years. It was in 2014 we went back there. They have made no moves against him. So on that basis, under the speedy trial right recognized by United States courts, get rid of this indictment. They said no, it is not the fault of the American government that he did not get a speedy trial, that it is because he defeated them in England and the American government has become demoralized. As a result, they decided not to go after him anymore. So now back to the basis of the new desire to have him abducted, because obviously the judge told them they can't win any extradition against him when he has been exonerated by 2 courts in England. The judge told them that. The American judge said, the United States government, forget it. Don't even bother yourself trying to extradite this man. You can never win. Why? Because our allies, the British, have already exonerated him. Not Pakistan, not Syria, our allies. In the British have exonerated this man. And he's a prominent man in Nigeria. Forget it. So on that basis, the only way out for them is to come by abduction, because they will never win extradition in Nigeria.
Mm. Now, I'll ask you this question. When we interviewed him, which we did recently, he talked about his brother and suggested that he didn't know where his brother is. Do you know where his brother is?
His brother is not my client.
Okay, but you know him very well. Do you have any idea of where his brother is? Because he's centered to this case.
What suggests to you that I know him very well?
Oh, okay, your client, I mean. Okay, that's okay. Let's leave that. Let me ask you now, who do you think within the government, the administration, considering the role he played in this past election and in the PDP, that could change the outcome, influence the outcome of what you consider to be an illegality taking place today and probably on Monday?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question.
I'm saying that right now you are considering what is going on as something illegal and what might happen on Monday as something illegal. Do you think there's anybody that could help your client? Have you tried to reach out to the president to see if the president could help your client? Or did the president basically throw him under the bus? Is that what is going on?
I wouldn't say that anybody has thrown him under the bus as things stand. Because, as I said, things are still unfolding. It is quite probable that the president was not aware that this kind of move was going to be made against Prince Kashamu. Because I know that this president, the current president, is a man who has always tried to stand for the rule of law. It's quite probable that if he knew about this plan, he would have stopped them on the basis that there's a court order that said he should stop action. He would not have allowed his Attorney General to embarrass him by proceeding to violate a court order that specifically said stop all action.
But it's been 12 hours since this started, and he must have heard about it. So if he's not going to do anything to stop it, the assumption is that he approved it.
Well, as I said, matters are still unfolding. You know how things work, and it could take a bit of time. But I'm sure eventually common sense will prevail.
Okay. So there is no chance, you don't see the possibility that we may see him put in a plane and to America anytime soon?
Well, what I would say is that it would be a shame In any event, he has told them they would have only his dead body to put on the plane. But I think it would be a shame if that should happen in the Nigeria that we think ought to be the giant of Africa.
That's the key point, what you said, because we asked his media aide about that threat of suicide, and the media aide was saying that he was just playing, that he didn't mean it that way, that he will kill himself. Are you saying that if, for instance, on Monday, he's taken to a court, and the court says, okay, we are shipping you to America, that he's going to take his life?
No, you see, I think sometimes because you are not a lawyer and you are not used to these proceedings, and just like many other Nigerians, you have a simplistic approach to this matter. You don't take a person to the court and then on that very day the judge will now say we're shipping you out to America. No. The duty of the judge is to test the evidence of the American. That's his duty. The judge is not sitting there as an administrator and just to sign something that's been presented to him by the Attorney General. His duty under the law is to tell the American government, represented by the Nigerian Attorney General, to present their evidence to prove that one fact, that this man is the actual man that committed the offense in America, to prove his identity. They have to prove that. They can't just ship him off to America. They have to come before him with evidence to show that he is the one that committed that offense. Now, you will bear in mind that already 2 courts in England have found that same evidence to be incredible. They said that evidence is incredible, we don't believe it, it's a lie. Also, we find that these are the actual facts. 2 courts in England have found that. 2 courts in Nigeria have held that in these circumstances, this man is not a fugitive. 1 court in America has found that Kashamu is not a fugitive. You cannot extradite anybody who is not a fugitive. You cannot. An American court said he's not a fugitive. Why? Because he has never stepped in America before. He did not escape from America, from justice. He was released legally by courts in England, and he has been living openly in Nigeria. He's not been in hiding. He's not a fugitive. You cannot extradite somebody who is not a fugitive. In addition to the fact that, of course, it was a case of mistaken identity. So I don't think anybody should have any expectation that the court is going to say, I'm shipping you out. Because that expectation is going to be completely foolishness. Because in view of the evidence, there is no basis for such an expectation.
Now, is there any fear, do you think, based on the action of the government agencies, and is there any fear that if he's allowed to go home, let's say after the proceedings on Monday, that he might go into hiding, that they won't be able to find him?
Mr. Kashamu has lived in Nigeria since he was released from England in 2003. Since the court in England found that he is not the one involved in American crime, he has lived openly in Nigeria. He has rebuilt his life, rebuilt his business, rebuilt his family. He has become a prominent man in Nigeria. He didn't run away. So is it now, after he has achieved all these things, he will now leave everything and run away? Run away to where?
That's the question I have, because if the agency, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency that came, if you had made that case to them, look, this man will come to court on Monday, you guys can go. Why would they insist that they will stay there and make sure that they will take him from his house to the courts?
You see, Rudolph, you are a very intelligent man. That's exactly how we think too. That why a man that is prominent, a man who has lived openly, who has never run away, what is the real plan? Tell us the real plan. It cannot just be that you are operating in accordance with them. There must be something else. You are right, Rudolph. It's a question they need to answer.
All right, Mr. Ajibola Oluyede, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Rudolph.
Okay. We will keep following the story. That was Ajibola Oluyede, the attorney for Mr. Kashamu, who is still in his house under house arrest. They are going to take him to court on Monday. So we'll keep following this story and we will give you more insight as they develop. Stay tuned.
Dear Nigerians, please for... Hey, hold on, my people. What's up? It's your girl, Adela. My glasses! What is this? Is this... this is glasses. And what am I supposed to do with this? I asked for my glasses now. What do you mean look inside? Hey, oh boy. This is not glasses. Hey, your money don't come. I think I'm paying you too much. There is God. Thank you. Dear Nigerians, please forgive... Oh, God, John. Hey! Forgive you for killing. Dear Nigerians, put it on the screen. For the 8 years... Hold on, let me put on my glasses. For the 8 years that one has been there, that includes when he was vice president as well. We have certainly done things that probably we wouldn't have done that way. But we didn't do things deliberately. So for those we have offended, it was not deliberate. It was circumstances of the office. My fellow Nigerians, please, in case you didn't understand what I just read, please don't blame Oga Juno for everything that happened. Blame the circumstances of his office, like I just read to you. Circumstances of his office is why he removed subsidy and bribed labor union leaders with an appointment. Circumstances of his office was why he was dancing when the Chibok girls were kidnapped. And circumstances was why it took weeks for him to set up a committee to look into the matter to know if whether our girls were kidnapped or not. It was why he didn't tackle Boko Haram until 6 weeks to election, and why he waited for at least 12,000 people to be slaughtered. Yes, killed by Boko Haram. Circumstances is also why unemployment in Nigeria wasn't during his time. In fact, it is the reason that more than a dozen students were killed during immigration job recruitment. In case you don't understand, circumstances is also why billions of dollars disappeared during the tenure of Mr. Jonathan. Circumstances is the reason he did not declare his assets till today or build one good hospital of international standard where people of his caliber can be treated. That is to say, circumstances is who you should go after and hold accountable and responsible for all the failures of Mr. Jonathan's tenure. My Oga? So you knew what you were doing all this while. Now you are blaming circumstances. There is God. In everything that we are doing, we should always remember that there is God. No wonder his wife was saying, oh, my husband will not go to prison. She knew what the husband was doing as well. Himself has said he will be persecuted. I mean, he knew what he was doing. Hey, I think we should forgive Oga, you know. You know that Ojuloro Jushanu. Nigerians, let's forgive this man and forget. The same way that we forgive those unemployed graduates that were caught doing Yahoo Yahoo, you understand? Because I'm sure that they also asked for forgiveness. I said we forgive him, but he must cough out every dollar, every naira, every dime that disappeared during his time. And speaking of not building good hospitals of international standard, our first lady came out again and said that the whole election period that she was secretly traveling to Germany for treatment because she suffered health crisis. Hey! Can you imagine that her and her husband were in power for 5 good years? During that time, she was sick and almost died. According to her, she had 12 different surgeries in 1 month alone in Germany. 12 surgeries in 1 month. You would think because of that experience that they would build at least one good hospital that in case madam needs to go for treatment again, they can easily get her to the hospital. You know, nah lie. At the end of the tenure, both the husband and first lady still going abroad for treatment, and she's not ashamed to say it. Listen to what she said. A trip was made a top secret in such a way that she could take part in campaign rallies in the afternoon and sneak to Germany with the last flight in the evening. What do these people mean by last flight? You think we don't know that her husband has like 10 private jets? I beg. I had paid for everything, and what remained was for me to enter the theater. Hold on. If we have such hospitals in Nigeria, wouldn't the first lady be treated for free? I mean, at least the insurance should cover her. But we'd rather go where we'll have to pay huge amounts. I hope you guys know that people who are not citizens or residents pay more when it comes to treatment abroad. Yeah. So only God knows how much of your money, Nigerians, was spent by officials for treatment abroad. I went to 4 hospitals again and the thing vanished. What a testimony. Hey, only 1 surgery this time, then the thing vanished. So what is the thing? What is this thing? And why can't we know what ails our first lady? At least we'll know how to pray better. They wanted me to be a sacrifice. but I will never be. Okay, that's enough, my dear. For real, these people have guts. You don't do what you're supposed to do and you still act like you are the victim? Who is trying to kill you? Oh, pity me. Somebody wants to make me a... Really? You can trust many Nigerians. Of course, they will be like, oh, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Hey, I beg, shut up. Do you know how many Nigerians have lost their lives and lost their loved ones because of the failure of these people in power to provide basic amenities? I've lost several loved ones myself because good health system is not available for common people in Nigeria, especially those that cannot afford to go to India or Germany. The lesson here is that when you are in position of authority, always keep in mind that someday you would leave, willingly or not. Don't be telling us stories at the end of your tenure that, oh, please forgive me. If you do what you're supposed to do, no need to apologize. Can apologies bring back the lives of more than 12,000 people that were killed by Boko Haram? I hope that this incoming government would learn from this. It is very important for you to keep the end in mind so that you will stay focused. Don't go and do bashu in your term and then be telling us that, please forgive me. That is not allowed. I wonder what the parents of Chibok girls would say, or the graduates that have been sitting at home for 4 years. And now, Oga Buhari, let one of your first priorities be to build good hospitals in Nigeria. We don't want to be hearing that Buhari or his first lady traveled abroad for treatment. There are great doctors in Nigeria. We just need to have adequate facilities and they need to be well paid. And speaking of money, by the way, I know that this new administration would not find it funny. In fact, I had the VP already said on Twitter that they are inheriting a debt of about $60 billion. Hello? Which is why I keep saying that we should forgive Oga Jono on the condition that he will cough out every penny that he has stolen. Yes, and every naira. I mean, mismanaged. That is what I meant. Yes, every penny that he has mismanaged. Oga Jono, you and the other 4 presidents, you know, they said that there are 5 presidents ruling us in Nigeria. Every one of you, can you cough out all the money that you have mismanaged? Let the new government go after the crooks. Don't be telling us stories that, oh, the treasury has been depleted, we are inheriting debt, so we cannot develop Nigeria. Because we all know who the thieves are. I'm not saying you should put them in prison, but at least go after them and get all the money that they've stolen. You know the people that have stolen money. You know what they are doing with the money. So get back all the money that they've stolen. And then you can talk about how we will develop Nigeria. You guys not doing anything. Anyway, guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Now, this next story is a Ghanaian story, but if you're Nigerian, I beg, move closer to the screen. It's okay, you don't have to move. That's good enough. Mama Emeka, leave the ogbono soup now. Just move close and let me hear me out in a duel. My people, you need to see the people of Ghana on the streets. Last week, in thousands. Hey, whoa! Some of them were carrying lanterns, others were carrying candles, flashlights, you name it. I called my friend, Chale. I said, Chale, what is happening in Ghana? He said, Adiola, where have you been? Electricity is no longer stable in Ghana. Oh, hey, it is now affecting every fiber of our economic life, our social life, and our businesses, and it is having a negative psychological toll on the medulla oblongata of the people of Ghana. I said, Che, God, this must be very bad, very, very bad. He said, Adiola, the ripple effect of doomsday is colossal. Hey, businesses are collapsing in Ghana. People are losing jobs. People are dying in hospitals. There is low productivity at workplaces. Students are not performing well in school. There has been an increase in living expenses. Hey, and this thing is affecting the whole economy of Ghana. I said, Che, Charlie, hey, this thing must be very, very bad. It was very bad. I was so sad. I pitied the people of Ghana. I said, when was the last time that you guys had electricity? Was it 4 or 5 years ago? When was it? He looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, my friend, with all the catastrophic things that you've listed, it tells me that you guys have not had electricity in months or years. He said, well, why, babe? That's me. He said, fine, babe, this is not Nigeria. You guys, you have your own special case. Bless your soul. In Ghana, we are protesting because sometimes we don't have electricity for up to 12 hours. That's it. 12 hours, maximum of 24 hours. And then they will bring it back. I said, yeah, that is it. And you guys are out on the street protesting. Che! Electricity because of 12 hours of no electricity, maximum 24 hours. Hey! You know that was the day that my respect for Ghanaians increased. You know the protest was organized by their celebrities. Wow, I heard that Yvonne Nelson was there, Van Vika was there, DKB, Sydney Barima, Prince David Osei, just to name a few. Of course, that is how it should be. I heard that electricity improved after the protest, and I said, why won't the thing improve now when people know they are right and they fight for their right? In Nigeria, we won't have electricity for a whole week. In fact, in some places in Nigeria, for months, they have no electricity. And several times on this show, I've read emails from people who have had no electricity for years in Nigeria. Have you ever heard that Nigerians are protesting lack of electricity? I have never heard of that. You think all this catastrophic peripheral that Chale was listing in Ghana, you think we don't have them too in Nigeria? What am I even saying? Electricity is small. Did we ever protest Boko Haram killing more than 12,000 people in Nigeria? There was one time like this that more than 50 boys were killed in their hostel. Did anybody protest? And when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, Nigerians did not protest until people outside Nigeria started protesting. Nigerians only protested for some time, and then that was it. Except for people like OBS Wesley and her group, $20 billion of our money disappeared. We did not protest, which is why it scatters my mind. Whenever I hear that another person is walking to Abuja because Buhari won, I said, why didn't we walk to protest unemployment rates all this while? But we would walk hundreds of kilometers because Buhari won. What are you telling me? Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for Buhari, but you know, this is starting to become ridiculous. The first guy, that was okay, but all these people, I don't understand. One woman carried a 40-day-old baby and started trekking from Mina to Abuja. What is the meaning of that now? That is more than 122 kilometers. So can you imagine? Almost 76 miles because Buhari won. Like, really? How does that help anybody? I was so shocked when I heard that some people are now planning on walking from Bauchi to Mecca. I was like, what? That's more than 9,000 kilometers, more than 5,605 miles. And because they are trekking, they have to go through Chad, Sudan, Egypt, unless they can swim across the ocean. If not, they will also go through Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and then Saudi Arabia. I said good luck to them, considering the fact that there is war going on in some of these countries. I had no idea that Nigerians can be so patriotic that they will walk to Mecca. And where were these people when police pension fund was embezzled? Oh, I forgot. Some guy is also working for Mr. Jonathan. Yes, so they are not all working for Buhari. There are people working for Jonathan. Mohammed Issa, originally from Borno State, he's working from Lagos to Abuja to thank President Jonathan for exhibiting an exemplary leadership quality during and after the 2015 elections. Another man, Oladele John Nihi, trekked from Abuja to Otueke to honor President Jonathan. He was later joined by a lady. The lady's family said, oh girl, come back home. So she went back home to convince her family that she needed to do this, yada yada da. And then she came back and joined the guy. And later on, another lady joined them. So 3 people walked to Otueke for President Jonathan. You know, do it. I'm not discrediting Nigerians for walking for Jonathan or Buhari, whatever. It shows how much they admire this man. But when would we start walking for issues that are affecting our well-being, like unemployment rate, which is part of the reason why so many people are able to just get up and trek for so many kilometers because of somebody? I'm not saying that these people have no jobs. Maybe they do, I don't know. But when would we work for mortality rate in Nigeria? Not long ago, UNICEF said that a woman dies every 10 minutes due to pregnancy complications and childbirth in Nigeria. That is 144 women in a day and about 50,000 in a year. Recently, they said that it has reduced to 40,000 women in a year. I still think that is ridiculous. Who will trek for these people? But you guys know that I don't know anything. Those are just some of the issues that I think should make us want to trek instead of, oh, somebody won or somebody is whatever. You guys don't know anything, Jare. For my Ghanaian people, you now do well. Let me know when your electricity is stable. I think I may move to Ghana. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.
And I'm running for Miss Nigeria USA 2015 representing Ondo State. And I just want to give a special shout out to SaharaTV, Everything Africa.
Yes, it's your big up in the same state. This is the music I'm talking about. My name is Chief, and you know what? I just finished my performance right now. Shout out to SaharaTV, our own massive TV reporter.
Hi, this is Tosinga, Afro Soul, Afro Folk artist. You're watching SaharaTV, Everything Africa.
Hi, what's up, Africa? They call me Race, and you're watching SaharaTV. Keep it up, don't go nowhere.
Hi, my name is Zanele Moholi, all the way from South Africa.
reporting from New York. I'm at Sahara Studios, reporting anything and everything, covering and documenting Africa with Africans in the house. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Annika from Moshu. Hi, I'm Christina and I'm modeling here today. And you're watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
I'm one number. This is Isaac Catalan, straight from the DRC. You know, giving shout out to Sahara TV, where everything Africa.
Hi, this is Martha Slay. Keep watching Sahara TV. Woo! Everything Africa.
Hi, I'm Aliyah Muhammad, president of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Epsilon Tau chapter, and you're watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
This is Adam Clayton Powell IV, and you're watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
Hi, I'm Amini Kajunju, president and CEO of the Africa America Institute. You are watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
What's up, y'all? I'm TJ Allen, and I played the role as Trayvon Martin. We at the National Black Theater. What's up? Shouts out to Sahara TV, everything Africa.
Yo, what's up? My name is Bright A.K. Basketball. You're watching Sahara TV. Keep it locked down. Everything is Africa right here.
Shout out Sahara TV. Yo, shout out my boy in law. Respect to all the area now. I'm on a jolly meal. Joe.
Hello, this is Dikeme Mutombo. You're watching Sahara TV, everything in Africa.
Hey, my name is Benga Denka the First. They call me the GCON, Grand Comedian of Nigeria. All you people watching out there, keep watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
Jeffrey Wright, coming to you from New York City, just across the river from the Republic of Brooklyn. And you're watching Sahara TV, everything Africa.
The people there, and I thank you for listening to Sahara TV. So I believe say all man get for listening them and I go watch them 5 and me I know they say.
Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. This is the Skype call segment. This is when we give you the chance to give us feedback on some of the programs we've been presenting to you today. It's been a very interesting day. We have been on the story of Senator-elect Kashamu, who is currently under house arrest by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in his home in Lagos. We also had some discussions on the transition. You all know that in 6 days, May 29th, we are going to have a change in government in Nigeria where we are going to have the opposition, a former opposition party, APC, coming into office to take over from the PDP, which is something that has never happened in Nigerian history. So we are going to quickly go to the Skype and talk to our Skype callers who have been waiting patiently for us to get to this segment. Let me introduce our Skype callers. Olusegun in Nashville. Olusegun, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you.
From Canada, we have Yemi. Yemi, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you, Rudolph.
And from Ogun State, Nigeria, we have Jimmy. Jimmy, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you, Rudolph.
And from Geneva, we have Hansen. Hansen, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thanks so much, Rudolph.
All right, let's start with the major story today, which is Kashamu. I'll come to you. Let me start from you are in Ogun State. Jimmy, he's the senator representing Ogun State in the Senate. He may not make it to the Senate on Friday to be sworn in. But we are not sure really what is happening. What is your take on some of the things we had today, that his house was stormed, he's currently under house arrest, and they are taking him to court on Monday?
Yes, why I'm baffled is that why is it they waited so late? You know, we've been saying this on Sahara TV, even in the news, it's been there. And the last time we had him just clapping and lying, saying one allergy is his brother, I can't find him and stuff. So why so late? That's what I'm looking at. So late, you know.
Now, he also suggested, we spoke to the attorney, and the attorney suggested that Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president, is behind what is happening now. Do you think that is possible?
Oh, there's nothing impossible, you know. With what happened to one, is he unwell, or the lady, you know, holding the in charge of the foundation, you know, and she already said something that the Baba knows how to cover his tracks so that things will never be linked to him. So I know there's a very powerful force behind Kashamo. That's why he has the audacity to do what he's doing.
Now, for people in your states who are supposedly sending him to Abuja to represent them, how do people feel about this latest development?
You know, the level of education, as it were, about people here is a bit low. Like I say, people are a bit ignorant about some of these things. You get what I'm saying? Like today, I was speaking with a Muslim guy, and I was saying, I asked him, were you aware of the fact that there was a bomb blast in Saudi Arabia yesterday that killed some Shiite Muslims? He said, no, he doesn't know anything, you know, and he doesn't even know anything about ISIS. So people are not well informed here. So they just do what they do when they see a big man come around, spray money, and want them to, you know, jump with their head over, and they just do it because of money. People are really poor here.
All right, yeah. Let me go to Canada and speak to Yemi. Yemi, what is your take on today's story about Kashamo?
Well, it's a welcome development. Like the last speaker said, it's rather late, but it's better late than never. And with the new dispensation, I foresee we'll be seeing a lot of this. We'll be seeing a lot of this, and even though, yeah, if there are power brokers behind this happening, if it's like a vendetta or whatever, the thing is, the question to ask is the person guilty? Does he have a crime on his neck? If he does, he needs to dance to the tune of the law. And I foresee a lot of this coming up, and I don't think we should make a big news of it, because there are more important things we need to focus on. Yes, we need to fight corruption, we need to fight the bad guys, and let the law follow its due course.
All right, thank you. Olusegun in Nashville, Tennessee, what is your take?
I think we live in a society where mediocres and, like fella said, vagabonds are the ones that are in power. And I think Nemesis will catch up with them one by one. One by one. And if it's the Buhari, I know, yes, Diagbon is not there again. And I know we're in a political dispensation. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Okay, but are you worried that there might be, according to the lawyer, there is a court injunction saying that they should not take any action until they go to court on the 27th? Are you worried that they might be doing something illegal, even if they are trying to deal with serious issues, that they are not following the law?
I am not worried at all. You know, one of the speakers said that people who elect him, the first question I want to ask there is it really the people that elected him, or how did he get there? What are his antecedents? In this part of the world, I mean, there have been cases of 2 governors in prison right now, you know. So nobody is above the law in this part of the world. So I'm not worried at all.
Okay, all right. Hansen in Geneva. Hansen, what is your take on the story of Kashamo?
Yes, Rudolph, you know, what amused me in Nigeria is that the people that shout corruption, they are the most corrupt elements, number one. Secondly, listen, if the guy has done something wrong, it's obvious that he has to pay. But the question is that there are some people that have done such a thing in United States that are in Nigeria. Some of them are governors. Some of them have become senators. They are still there walking around freely. Person like Tinubu, why only him? So to me,
if he has done something wrong, it's good that he should be called to justice. Okay, let justice prevail. But what I don't accept is when it has to do when it becomes a witch hunt. So why him now? That guy has been there for years playing politics. Okay, with the Baba OBJ. Since when he fall out with him, that is when the whole world start to know that he's corrupt and he's a drug pusher. What of Tinubu?
All right. Let me say that this topic is something that we didn't plan to make the subject of our conversation today, because today we know that the president-elect went to England. He went yesterday. He met with the Prime Minister of Britain. Today, we saw the picture, and his media team came out yesterday to say that it was a private visit. So I want to go back to our Skype callers to get their view on how the Buhari team handled this trip, and why did he leave the country 6 days, essentially less than 7 days, if you like, to the inauguration, and when is he coming back? What is behind this? We try to talk to journalists in Nigeria. They are also baffled at what is happening. So, Jimmy, let me come back to you. When you heard that the president, who is supposed to take office in 7 days, is out of the country, what crossed your mind?
The first thing is that maybe he's trying to prepare a background for how to cage in the potential runaway thief, and then the closest place that they can easily run to is Britain and America. You get what I'm saying now? Mm-hmm. So going there maybe to discuss about our country is broke and this is what we need to do. So they'll be able to see how if they want to extradite some, if they will even help in arresting some, they will be able to do that and do that quickly. That was what came to my mind.
I like your idea, and knowing that he was in the same flight with Desiani Allison Madeke, that would be an interesting discussion with the authorities in Britain. All right, Yemi, what do you think about how the president-elect, his team, they've been handling the transition?
Well, so far so good. From the information I read online, the outgoing cabinet, they're really not cooperating, and that's really hindering them to move forward. But however, a lot of articles have come out there that this administration is going to get the worst handover ever in the history of Nigeria, and the worst economy. There's fuel scarcity right now across the nation. There's serious power drop. There's no power supply across the nation, and it's so sad that, and the expectation is so high for the incoming administration, and the transition will come and it will go by God's grace, and we will move forward as a nation, and I just hope Nigeria all the best.
All right. Olusegun, let me ask you, the transition. We had, like Yemi said now, we had that they were not cooperating. The people who are working with President Jonathan have now been cooperating with the committee that was set up by incoming President Buhari. What does that say about how they are going to start their role in the next 6 days?
I think that, there was a news I saw on the internet when General Buhari said that he became a president
at the wrong time, yes.
Yeah. So I think I was discussing with one of my friends last week, and I was telling the person that, look, a military government is different from a democratic government. Now, Buhari will not be able to wield the big stick because whether he likes it or not, some people contributed to bring him there. And of course, we all know that the ministerial appointments are going to be the first source of the civil war that's going to happen within the yes. That is going to be the first thing. And secondly, I was also discussing with somebody yesterday, and the person, I was asking of a pastor friend, and he said, "Oh, he's with Professor Shibada. He was, they're looking for something." I said, "Now, they are all going to be disappointed, especially the vice president. His integrity will be at stake." And a lot of people will be disappointed. It's not going to be business as usual. My advice to them is, if it's one agenda they want to pursue in 4 years, if it's electricity, for example, let them focus solely on electricity and not dabble into different things. It's unfortunate the kind of culture we all came from, the kind of society we all came from, where to go serve the government is to go chop money. That's what it's. It is very unfortunate, and I think the sooner somebody like Buhari corrects this, let them make the government, the central government, let them make it unattractive. In Texas, the governor earns meager. So everybody doesn't want to become a governor because you end up not earning anything. The president here everybody knows how much he earns. So I think the more they settle down, forget about whether the handover this thing or they cannot probe everybody from the past government. The more they settle down, the earlier they settle down, the better.
Okay, all right, Hanson. Let me ask you. I know before the election you were leaning towards the PDP. I want you to tell me, based on what you've seen so far in the performance of the incoming Buhari administration, or the team, do you think that, do you have anything that impressed you, or are you worried about something?
Buhari has not done anything, so we are waiting. I cannot wait to see him take over power, number one. Secondly, all his promises with Osibanjo is well documented. Okay, we are waiting for them to, do the magic, because they say that we do magic. We are waiting for them to do the magic. I will be very, very, very happy. I am one of the people that, tell our fellow citizens they should support him, give him the necessary support so that for him to perform. So we hope that he will perform. But if you ask me to tell you the truth is that it won't be easy for them. And me personally, I'm not expecting anything from him, because I know the way Nigeria is of today. You understand me? I've said it before, I will say it again. If you bring in Obama to handle Nigeria the way Nigeria is today, Obama won't do anything. Buhari is not the problem. Buhari is not the Messiah Nigeria needs. Our Messiah, what we need in Nigeria, is to reform Nigeria, change the rotten system that we are practicing. That is only way Nigeria will be a better country. So if everybody if Nigerians want, they should put all their hope in Buhari. To me, Buhari and Osibanjo can't do anything. They are not magicians.
Okay.
I shall tell,
Okay. Jimmy, they are not magicians. Do you think it had something to do with the fact that the country is broke? We had this week that Nigeria is owing over $60 billion. And we are handing over a country to a new administration in what the coming administration said is the worst economic shape the country has ever been. What are you seeing? You are in Nigeria there. What are you seeing that are indicators that things are not easy?
Yes, the price increase, in recent months now, the inflation has risen from 0.8% to 12%, Although, when I was discussing with some colleagues at work, they didn't see a bit of big deal in it. This is what I'm talking about in terms of people being enlightened and being educated about what is going on in their lives, economically and socially and otherwise in Nigeria. Very limited set of people are highly educated about how bad things are. But now, I told somebody today, I said, it's like, permit me to use this Igbo word. I said, some people are there, and they are tightening everything up one, that small. So that's the way it is, so that people will not really feel it. Already Nigeria, we have been in crisis right from time. You understand? So somebody who is down needs no fall. So that's why people are not really responding as it should be, as people in the US or in the UK would respond. But really, Rudolph, it's pretty bad. Something happened in the park about 2 weeks ago. I was at the park. A boy selling food came to me to beg that he wanted to buy food.
Buy what?
The boy was hawking food.
And he came to you and said he wanted to buy food.
Yes, that I should give him money, that you want to buy food. I was like, oh, there's food.
Where you are?
Right now, they are buying it at the rate of 200 naira per liter.
Okay.
And yes, and I was at Ikoyi yesterday, and those guys stealing oil from the IC are the one now supplying fuel. No fuel station is selling, so people have to carry their keg and wait at the beach and wait for the guys to come in with their flying boots, and they buy from them 200 naira also per liter.
And then there are lines before you can buy it.
No, not only lines. Well, station selling, one man was telling me about his experience that he went to buy a keg, a 4-liter gallon, and he paid 1,000 naira, and still he couldn't get that 4-liter enough. So they have even, they are sustaining in dispensing that fuel, haven't increased the price. So they are not even, selling the quantity that is expected. How can you buy I used to buy a gallon before for 500 naira, but you are paying 1,000 naira and it's not even filled to the brim.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yemi, let me ask you, recently there were some statements from President-elect Buhari. One of them was when he said that from May 29th, nobody should call him a general. And also, we read a report that he rejected the ministerial list that were given to him by state governors. How do you read those statements and those things coming from Buhari?
Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. Change. Things need to be done differently. And I'm surprised that Anson's making comment is quite negative. And President Obama took over President Bush after 2 wars, and the economy of the states was really, really bad. And
Nigeria and America is not the same.
Hanson, let him finish. I'll give you the chance to talk. Go ahead, Yemi.
And Obama has been able to do wonderfully in the economy of U.S. Going to Asia, Singapore, the founder of Singapore moved Singapore from third world to first world nation. And Nigeria is the most, I can categorically say that, is the most blessed nation in the world in terms of human capital. Human capital. I'm not talking about resources here. I'm talking about human capital. The number of registered medical doctors in United States is more than the medical doctors living in Nigeria. Look, and there are a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians are selfless. They wanna help Nigeria to be a better nation. And with the right leadership, which we're having. That's why you have a general that's saying, don't call me general. He said they should remove the excellency title from the presidency. That we need to be humble to the people of Nigeria, and we need to start doing things selflessly. However, like what Anson said, nobody can just wave a wand and fix everything overnight. It's not about Buhari. It's about me and you. It's about everybody coming in collectively to dip in the hand in the pot and try and make a difference in the nation. He earlier said he was talking about Tinubu being corrupt or whatever. I don't know. Do you have any documentation? Do you have any evidence that points to
we
that
have
fact?
Seen it, my friend.
So
Don't go that.
The thing is,
we
you
have
cannot.
Seen it.
Hanson, please let him finish. Go finish, Yemi, please.
So the society has been corrupt for over decades, and you don't expect corruption to disappear overnight. It's going to take a process. It's going to take years for it to gradually eradicate. I'm even proposing an education system whereby anti-corruption programs is being taught from primary level to tertiary institution in order for us to eradicate this thing. So the mindset is different. And Anson, and you see the mindset, some people come to America, they come to Europe, they still think like Nigerians. They don't think positively. They believe something that's wrong can never be right. So the thing is, we need to start thinking differently. We need to start thinking, like they say, outside the box. And believe me, the fuel crisis, the power supply, the police. Let me give you one scenario. This is true life. I lived in Port Harcourt for close to 4 years, and I went into Shell RA, and I was shocked. I saw the policemen smiling. They were very courteous. They were asking me questions politely. And I was like, are these policemen? The same uniform was very clean. And I was wondering, why is it different? They have a clinic of their own. The doctors there are Nigerians. They have a fire brigade. The fire brigade there, they are all Nigerians. But once you step out of Shell RA, Shell residential area, it's the total opposite. So why is it that Nigerians could, in that little bubble, it's like being abroad, and when you step out, it's a different thing. It's a matter of leadership, and that leadership, you're going to see that moving through in the next 4 years.
All right, thank you, Yemi. I'll give you a chance to respond, Hanson, just briefly, because I have to go back to Nashville. Go ahead, Hanson.
Rudolph, number one, I don't believe in blah, 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 blah. Once a general is always a general. So you cannot take it away, number one. Secondly, he talks about Tinubu. I believe, Yemi, you are not a Tinubu lawyer, okay, because all his sins are well documented, okay, you know about it. Third part of it, Nigeria as a country, there's something that Mr. Olusegun said here. He said that the problem with Nigerian politicians that they are not there to serve, but they are there to steal. And he said that it won't be possible, it's so easy for Buhari because democracy is not a military regime. So that is why I said, even before the election, we've debated here several times, I said that military regime, you can never use military regime to compare democracy. What is in them? Buhari, we find it very, very difficult. He will find it very, very difficult because those degree 4, degree 2, or degree whatever will not be applied anymore. And the Nigerian politicians are well corrupt. And not only that Nigerian politicians are corrupt, the system we practice help them to be corrupt. So, except the only way Nigeria will be good is that if Buhari comes on 29th of May, say that, okay, now the whole system, we need to overhaul everything. Good. He makes example with Singapore, example with United States of America, example with some Western countries. Fine. Those countries, there are equality of law. All their citizens are all equal in the face of their constitution, and their constitution represents everybody in their country. Nigerian case, is it the same? The answer is no. I've been living in the Western world for many years like you, Yemi. You got the point. I don't think backwards. Okay. I think positive, but I am saying the truth that it won't do any magic. Nigeria is corrupt. The system is, absolutely messed up. So he won't do any anything in these coming 4 years, except our system is absolutely overhauled.
All right, thank you. Let me go back to Nashville. Olusegun, let me ask you, there was this report that I tried to investigate that the National Assembly, they spent $600 billion in the last 6 years, and they were able to pass only 106 bills. The report was in Premium Times, and we spoke to the general editor today, and he confirmed that nobody was embarrassed about this in the National Assembly. What do you think about the cost of governance in Nigeria, and how are we going to achieve some of these hope and promises out there when the country is broke? Meanwhile, the political elite are still getting the kind of money that is unthinkable in other countries in the world.
The first thing I would say is, let there be a policy or a system to make the political echelon or government very unattractive. When you make that unattractive, there will not be the jostle from people to say, I want to become this, because they know there is not money there. I was impressed by, I saw a video on YouTube of Benmore Bruce recently. And for the first time, I was very happy that somebody is even thinking right. I don't know whether you guys saw it.
Yeah, I watched it too. I watched it.
Where he really talked intelligently. And I think, well, what I ask myself is, this is just one person. Yes, he might not be able to influence much, but I think, as Yemi said, one by one person plus one person. I agree with Hansen that the system is messed up, but at least a president has emerged. Yes, he might not be able to wield the big stick as he wants, but I think we should think positively and proactively and said, okay, this person, let's see what he will do. I am personally so disappointed with Jonathan and his cohorts, because this is a PhD holder, supposedly, that is supposed to think aright. So I ask myself once in a while that, why do we always have each of the members of the Congress here, they drive themselves. You see them on traffic lights. They don't have drivers. They don't, they are so cautious because they can go to prison anytime. So I think that there needs to be an overhaul of the system and make that National Assembly and every part of that government unattractive. There are a lot of my classmates in Nigeria right now that are, they're jostling. I learned that one of them just got elected. He went and joined a course just to be elected into the state's House of Assembly. And I asked him, I was in the Federal Civil Service before. I was actually in the Federal Civil Service before. And I got so frustrated with the system. But as I said, if I don't know how it's going to happen, change of culture, change of orientation, it's going to take a lot. But as Yemi said, let it be from everybody, one day at a time. And I think with the headship over there, yes, they're going to eat money, but at what expense? I think Buhari will stand his feet. And I think we should not put our trust in him, but support him to be able to at least move things forward.
Okay.
Can I come? Okay.
Who is this?
That's Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy. Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay. You know, like myself, you know, I believe that there are some things that are not humanly possible for any government anywhere in the world to actually eradicate, like poverty. You can't eradicate it. Even in America, we have poor people, sickness, death, you know, crime. You understand? Well, there's much you can do in order to reduce them. You know, for example, look at Lagos State. Lagos State was taken from what I would say the incinerator, and now it's better. If that can happen in Lagos State, you know, I want to believe like what Yemi said. It will happen, you know, in most parts of Nigeria, you know, and it's about unlearning and learning new things. I'll give you an example. Personally, when I started working in a British environment in Nigeria here, where you have expatriates, it was difficult for me to understand what is professionalism. You know, my white boss will always tell me, you have to be professional. You have to be professional. It took like 4 years for me to now adjust and understand that, oh, it is actually not professional for you to even be on phone when you're at work, just gisting with your wife or you are gisting with a friend. You know, these are things that gradually we need to imbibe the culture of doing things right. And we should start from school, like what Yemi said, from our redesigning our curriculum. Are you getting me now? From the primary school. I'm a teacher, you know, but unfortunately, I don't teach in the regular Nigerian school. You know, I run the British curriculum. I went as far as going to Cambridge to get myself educated well. And I've, you know, gone to Nigerian university. When I came out and I started working with the expatriates, it's as if I've never gone to the real school in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? So we need to now start to, you know, redesign the curriculum in school, and people now will be able to relate what they learn in school with their life. Our system is bookish. We just read for reading's sake to pass and move on. We don't read to learn in order to better our lives. Do you understand? So if we can do that, as it were, like what Shogo said, you know, corruption can be reduced to the barest minimum. You know, our police, we need to reorientate them, and we need to put them in a condition that is glorifying for human. Look at the example Shogo gave in Shell. The simple thing is that same police, same human, have been put into a well-dignified environment with all that is needed to make you think right. And they're doing the right thing. You know, or if you put, like I said, if you go to the police barracks, you should, if you know the police barracks very well, you should not expect that a policeman will not be corrupt. You know, the biggest corruption I've experienced with police was when Showore was interviewing maybe the PRA from Abuja or something, and to the media, in the national, he was trying to even cover their corruption. When Showore was given indices and evidence of what they have done that is, you know, abysmal, that is bad. You know, but if we start from the school, we start to tell ourselves that, oh, this is the right thing, let's do it. You know, the first time I went to UK, I was behaving practically like a dog. As in, I couldn't, there were a dog that were even better off. I'm sorry to say this. Because I couldn't cross the road properly. An elderly person, about 75-year-old Nigerian that was leading me, was one shouting that, Jimmy, come along, they will wait for you. Because in Nigeria, if you get to the zebra crossing, if you dare step on, they will knock you off.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we need that orientation and training. Do you understand? And gradually, things will now be better for, you know, all and sundry. And then there will still be corruption anyway. There's corruption in America, in the UK, there's corruption. Do you get what I'm saying? But we can reduce it and not institutionalize it. You know, I think Anthony is listening to this.
Okay.
Can I come in?
Go ahead, Yemi.
Yeah, Shogo.
Shogo, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
No, this is Yemi. I just want to make a comment about Shogo.
Okay, all right.
Now, Shogo, what you said is already part of the plan of this incoming administration. What Anson is asking for is already part of the plan of this administration. There would be a total overhaul of the entire system, coming from state level to federal level, down to even local government level. Now, I don't know if you watched one speech El Rufai gave, and that speech is about making the political system unattractive. Maybe that word is not good. More patriotic, because if you are patriotic, you would not steal from the purse of the government. So, and from what he said, unfortunately, our forefathers, our founding fathers of Nigeria, they are the cause of this problem. Because when they took over from the colonialists, the colonial masters, they did not break down that system. Because they came here, they knew they were going back. They still had their mortgages in UK that they were paying. So they had a house, they gave them a house, they gave them driver, they gave them cook and everything. That same system was kept. Instead of the founding fathers to break that system down and say, look, we run government as effective as possible, as cost effective as possible. That wasn't broken down, and that's what brought us to the point we are right now. And I will see the administration now that's coming in, they will lead by example. When Buhari comes in and they give him a salary of maybe 2 million naira a month, and he says, no, the country is broke. I'm going to pay myself 1 million, 50% cut on all salaries. If the president does that, how will he not trickle down? Ask me, how will he not trickle down? So the truth of the matter is, when we have had leadership that's so bad for so long, people tend to think that negative way. But once we start seeing the light, people will start changing their mindset, and things would get better. So I don't like the negativity. It's true that the system is bad. It's true that there's a lot to be done, but we can still do it. We can still fix Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Hanson, let me come to you. I will give you the chance to talk, but let me frame this for you. I spoke to the general editor of Premium Times a few hours ago, and I asked him about Ben Bruce, which came up in a discussion here now. And he said that probably Ben Bruce has been born again, and is a new person. Now, I want to ask you, in terms of, I understand that most people, because of the years of conditionalities and everything we've gone through, most people have no reason to be optimistic. But do you think that there is a chance that if individuals decide that we should hold this incoming government accountable, that we could push them in the right direction?
First of all, I want to say something. I want to clear something first. Nobody is negative here, okay? Because we are talking about the future of our future and the future of our children, okay? We are not negative. But I don't want you, Yemi, to take it that we are being negative. I said, even the first time that Bulgari won, I said that we should give him the chance. We should support him. I'm supporting him. But that does not mean that if I see anything that maybe the administration do that is wrong, that I should not voice it out. It doesn't work that way. If I don't voice it out, that means it's no more a democracy. That one apart. The problem is that, Rudolph, let me be sincere to you. What is paining me in Nigeria as a country is that, you know, you will see someone that is corrupt and they steal money. After some years, he will come back, tell you that, listen, I'm born again. I'm a better person now. Fine, you're a better person. Then where is those money, the money that you took away? Why don't you bring it back? Of course, each human needs a second chance in life. But at least you need to pay first for your sin, the sins that you committed. Of course, when you listen to what he said, it's good. But the problem is that, why has he not been saying something like that for long? Why now? That's the question. Well, as Igbo people say that, so that means that whenever you wake up, it's your morning. if Nigerians are waking up today, it's not yet bad.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, this is a programming announcement. On Friday and Saturday of next week, we are going to have special coverage of the inauguration of the incoming administration. So we're going to be live on air from 10 a.m. New York time to 4 p.m. New York time. So let me come back to you, Shogo. The people are expecting a lot from this incoming government. We asked people online, in the next first 100 days of the administration, what are your expectations of them? What do you expect the Buhari government to do in the first 100 days of the administration? You with us? Okay, I think we lost him.
Can you hear me?
Are you
We can hear him. He's here.
We can hear him.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Honestly, nothing in the first 100 days. And the reason why I said nothing is because there's a adage in Yoruba that before you take a step forward, you need to retrace backward. So I would expect him to understudy the system which he left almost 20-something years ago. If I were him, I would form a committee to understudy what is wrong with our system. What can we do? Then after 100 days, you can now begin to implement some policy. That's my own opinion there. Because if you try, you see, one of the faults of the past government is a fire brigade approach. People will come there, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you bamboozle. That's why we have not been able to sort out the electricity system in Nigeria today. Because another government will come in. I mean, yeah, agreed, Jonathan is not good, but I believe there's still some things that he has done. Consolidate on those ones. I mean, some good things that he has done. Consolidate on that one. I mean, look at Obasanjo, for example. Whether we like it or not, the insurance system, that health insurance, yeah, it's not perfect over there, but at least he started something. Yeah, it's not the best of all. Consolidate on all those. What is the fault? What is the problem? How can we make it better? Some of those things, the telecom system, how can we make it better? Then after 100 days, you can now sit down with your cabinet, your kitchen cabinet, and begin to, what can we do to better this? What can we do to better that? And let me say this, the people who are going to implement the government agenda are the civil service. The civil service in Nigeria is rotten. And sacking people is not going to solve the problem.
What do we have to do?
Re-educating people. I think, as Yemi said, and as Jimmy said, yeah, starting from the primary school upward, but the people there now, what can we do? Not sack them, but re-educating people and make them understand the consequences of their actions. There are some things I cannot say on air that right now that I saw there when I was in the civil service, and even as a Christian, it's very difficult to survive in those kind of environments.
Okay, thank you so much. We are actually out of time, so I will go around and ask each of you to tell me what's keeping you up at night. Jimmy.
Rudolph, when fuel will be available and maybe subsidy will be taken off, I will buy it maybe 200 naira per liter, I will know we are going to get it, and nobody will also use that to steal our money in Nigeria. So I'm thinking seriously about when this will be in place.
That's a good point. But before you go, let me ask you, Jimmy, will you support the removal of oil subsidy? If that is a solution to this fuel scarcity.
I'm telling you, I will, because if it's a way to kill the Nigerian economy, what's the point? How can you give me a loaf of bread, and when you give me a loaf of bread, eventually what you do is that you collect my wallet? Doesn't make sense.
All right. Thank you so much. Yemi, what's keeping you up at night?
Well, the transition program, the taking over of the new government, and first 100 days, like what Shogo said, is a huge challenge ahead of us. But I'm staying positive. I'm staying very optimistic that this new administration is really going to make a difference in the next 4 years of Nigerian democracy.
All right, thank you. Shogo, what's keeping you up at night?
The rotten system in Nigeria, in terms of the government, the stealing, and the insecurity.
All right, thank you so much. Hansen, what's keeping you up at night?
Rudolph, one guy told me last time that I went to Nigeria that Nigeria is a country built on corruption and fraud. So the very day corruption will be taken away from Nigeria, Nigeria will be collapsed. So what I try to say is that I wish Buhari the best, and I hope that they will better the life of Nigerians. But if you ask me, I'm not hoping anything. Next 100 years, same, except they do the right thing. Thanks.
All right. Hansen in Geneva. Hansen, thank you so much for joining us.
You are not pessimistic.
Hansen, thank you so much for joining us.
Sorry?
I said thank you for joining us.
Oh, Rudolph, thanks so much.
Yeah. Jimmy,
Rudolph, we should name Hansen Dr. Damages of our program.
Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, Rudolph.
Yemi in Canada. Yemi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
I've entered the mouth. That's good.
And Shogo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Sahara TV. I love what you guys are doing. I love the revolution that you guys are causing, and God bless you.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of our program today, our show. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to remind you that on Friday and on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we are going to bring you special coverage of the inauguration of the Buhari administration. So we hope you will be there to join us. On behalf of everybody here at Sahara TV, I want to thank you for watching, and join us on Friday. Bye.
Hi, I'm Azania, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Hi, I'm Annika from Moshun. Hi, I'm Christina, and I'm modeling here today. And you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
This is Isaac Catalai, straight from the DRC. Giving shout out to Sahara TV, where everything Africa.
Hi, this is Martha Slay. Keep watching Sahara TV. Woo! Everything Africa.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah Muhammad, president of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Epsilon Tau chapter, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
This is Adam Clayton Powell IV, and you're watching Sahara TV, Everything Africa.
Welcome back, guys, and thank you for staying tuned. So before the break, I was telling you about The Gift of Grace, sibling bond, written by Toluwalase Falode. She lost her brother in Dubai last year. He was allegedly pushed off a building, and she just published a book to share the pain that the family went through and how they've dealt with it so far. She's joining us all the way from Nigeria now via Skype, and we want to say thank you for joining us, Tolu.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Great. So how has it been this past year? How has it been dealing with the loss of your brother?
It's been very difficult. It's been a huge process for my family to understand and to be able to go through, because losing someone so important to your family being able to function leaves a lot of gaps in trying to deal with the grief. And my mom has been going through her own process of grief. I've been going through my own process of grief. But we just thank God that through it all, he's been faithful. It's been over a year. It's not getting any easier. And in some ways, it does get worse when you have certain accomplishments. Or, for example, a couple of days ago, he would have been 21. So there are difficult days and difficult months, but I'm just grateful for God being faithful to my family during this process.
Yeah. Accept our condolences. So you just published this book, Gift of Grace, a Sibling Bond. What do you want people to get from reading the book?
Gift of Grace, a Sibling Bond is basically my experience in losing a loved one. And I hope that in sharing my story, I help other people to go through their own pain and their own process of dealing with grief. I also hope the book helps people to see that even though we all have our issues to deal with in life, God is there to help us, because that is my own story, and that is how I've been able to deal with what has happened to my family through the gift of grace, which is why the book was aptly titled Gift of Grace, a Sibling Bond. It was through the bond with my brother that I experienced the grace of God in my life.
Yeah, okay. Not to make you cry or anything, but how was your relationship with your brother?
It was special. It was extremely special, and I don't think I realized that much until he passed. I just realized how much he was important to me being able to function as a person, because when he died, I was very lost. I didn't know who I was anymore. So much of my identity was wrapped up in who he was, and I didn't know that till he had passed. So it was truly a unique relationship that I didn't fully grasp, and I don't think I fully understand till now. But he was a very special young man.
Right. Yes. Okay. Has writing always been a passion of yours?
No. This whole process of discovering, that's why I say my relationship with my brother was very special, because in his passing, he brought out more of who I was as a person that I didn't even know I could be. I didn't know I could write as much as, I didn't know I could write 10 pages, not to talk about writing a whole book. Yeah, so it's been a process of self-discovery for me in so many different ways. I've never written anything consciously before, or subconsciously, or unconsciously rather. What happened was, in order to deal with the grief, I needed to do something. So I just found myself writing and writing and writing. And that is how the process accidentally came into the writing of a book.
Right. And this book was launched on Tuesday, you said?
Yes, it was launched.
How was the turnout?
It was really good. I was so happy that people responded so positively to what has been a really painful process for my family. We had loads of our family and friends and supporters present. Honorable Mrs. Abike Daviri Everua was there. Dr. Joe Dumakin was there. Esquire Festus Keyamo was present, amongst others like Pastor Itwai Budalo, and so many people showed up to show their support to my family. I was really grateful, because this was a day that would have been very, very painful for us, because my brother would have been 21. And that was such a huge milestone in his life that we all looked forward to celebrating as a family and in experiencing with him. But we thank God it turned out to be a memorable day for a huge step my family has taken in moving forward from this loss.
Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what your family has gone through. I've never lost a sibling, so I cannot say I understand. But I'm just glad to see you being strong and see you actually using the energy positively. So the murderer is known, the alleged murderer, because he hasn't been charged, or has he been charged now?
No, the alleged murderers, Faisal Maria Al-Nasir, and who is Saudi Arabian, and Olivia Melanie Richards Evans, who is British, have not faced any charges till today. And that is very painful for me, and I can't imagine for my mom to grasp, given the fact that we've provided all the information, we've gone beyond what we should have to go as a family, and still no step has been taken by the government, because this is a case that is very much in the hands of the Nigerian government, because it happened in Dubai, it happened on foreign soil. So there's nothing we can do as a family. We have to move as a people. But unfortunately, the government of this country hasn't done anything about it. And to think these people are living their lives like they didn't take someone's life is difficult. It's difficult.
Okay. I truly sympathize with you. I want to ask, have you forgiven the murderers?
In some days, it's very difficult to forgive, because I think they've stolen so many memories from me. They've stolen so many memories from my family. They've stolen moments. They've stolen dreams.
Yeah.
My brother was such a passionate young man. Toba was Tyler Hendricks Frey. That was his musical alter ego. He was so driven. He was so filled with purpose. He would tell me, he painted his dreams so clearly for me to see that when he died, I really couldn't grasp the reality of what was happening.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to say for me to confidently say I've forgiven them, but I say God has given me peace. And that is how I will be able to respond to that question. I would not be able to say, you took my brother's life, and I am in a point in my story just over a year later where I can fully say I've forgiven you for doing such a thing to me and my family.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about this book. Where can people purchase it if they want to get it?
Well, the book is available on konga.com now. Okay. It's been available since the 19th of May online. If they just go to konga.com, Gift of Grace, it's readily available there, and you would get a copy in the space of a couple of days. It will be available at Latina bookstores in Victoria Island from next week, Monday.
Okay. And are you on social media? Is there any way people can reach you if they want to connect with you?
Yes, on Instagram, my handle is FanTheFlame. And on Twitter, it's Tolu Falode.
Can
and
you
on
spell
Facebook,
FanTheFlame?
Okay, it's FANTHEFLAME.
Great.
And on Twitter, it's Tolu Falode, TOLUFALODE altogether. And I have a blog as well. It's called theflameoffaith.blogspot.com. That's the-flame-of-faith.blogspot.com. And also on Facebook, actually, at Tolu Falode, Gift of Grace.
Okay, great. Before I let you leave, do you have any word of advice to anyone who is going through a loss or dealing with a loss right now?
I would say God is truly your strength, and I'm so sorry for whatever loss you have experienced, because honestly, it's not an easy process. And I just like to express my condolences, and I pray that you use this process of pain to find out more of your purpose, and don't in any way harbor any guilt, because whatever form of death came into your home, it was not your fault. That's what I would like.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us, Tolu. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Great. That was Tolu Falode, author of Gift of Grace, Sibling Bond, who lost her brother Toba Falode last year in Dubai. The murderer has still not been charged, but she has taken the pain and used her pain positively to author a book that I feel will be a blessing to many people. It would be nice if you guys support and get the book and read. We'll be back after this break.
Hi, my name is Julius the Genius Agu. You know what this is? In case you don't know, you're watching Sahara TV.